let's get to the Gacha cast. Watching Gacha cast. Okay. Guys, if you don't know, Athoma was in the Gacha cast, and Athoma is the biggest piece of shit in the community. But he did make a pretty fire meme that I won't let die. I will never let this fucking meme die. But Athoma is a big piece of shit. Like, for sure. The guy absolutely bullied my mom. But
Rex is a bitch and Kateo's a bitch. They're the biggest bitches in the whole wide world.
I won't let that die. Okay. So, but yada, yada, yada. Wuthering Waves 2.0. Do you guys really care what they think about WoWa 2.0? I feel like it's a good patch. I really don't think there's anything controversial. Who let Athoma cook? I have no idea, man. I have no idea. Maybe Gian might get one. We'll see. Look like he's jerking off in every Gacha cast. Bro, Athoma's fucking gooning every time. Athoma just be out here gooning. I think we have our own little podcast coming up on Tuesday. I don't know who. I know Athoma said yes. I know Kazahana said yes. And Glaive said yes, although I don't fuck with Glaive because Glaive made fun of me. But I'm going to ask the rest of the homies. But so Tuesday we should be doing our own. See Hoyo Brainrot if you only play those games. Okay, wait. I'm going to keep that here, so we'll get to that. Is that the Sekapoko thing? I mean, WoWa 2.0, I think, is pretty much universally good, right?
So,
Yeah.
I thought the flying sucked. Like, it was
They
still
just
cool.
fixed it.
Like, I was,
Literally
just
fixed it.
yeah, like, I was
nice.
whelmed by it, but it,
Has any Gacha game had a badly received major version, 1.0, 2.0, 3.0? I think I'm biased, so I'd probably say Natlan. But maybe not even Natlan. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think there's been an overwhelming reception of this version 0.0 is bad. I think, but as time goes on, we might see critiques of WoWa 2.0 because people are already, like, the recency bias is gone. The same way we did with Natlan, because I think a lot of people liked 5.0, including myself. I somewhat enjoyed 5.0, but then after that I was like, you know. Has there ever been a positive reception to Tower Fantasy update? I don't know. You'd have to ask Kateo about that. I really have no clue, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think WoWa 2.0 is fine. So let's see what they say about a skip button.
which is a very viral tweet that blew up lately with a 43,500 likes.
Oh, Rambo, we'll get to that. We're going to cover that in a separate video today. We'll do that. We'll try to bang this out as fast as possible.
And 6,000 retweets that says, y'all begging for a skip button in Genshin Impact. Don't you know that skip buttons mean that the story is bad? How do we feel about that?
We just went on a whole, like,
Genocide.
30-minute rant about this.
Oh. Well, you know what? It's so perfect because they're absolutely right. I wanted to skip Genshin's story all the time. It was so bad. They should have added the skip button, man. It was pissing me off. I wanted to get
Dude, I fucking love Genocide, bro. This dude's funny, man. He's a
through the
good guy.
game, but I couldn't. So they're
He's a funny
absolutely
guy.
correct, I guess. You know, they should be adding skip buttons to bad stories. They
100%.
should have done it, man.
Yeah, and they also
No, but on the real.
they call Genshin like and I quote, a story-focused game. That's important to talk about.
It's such cat, bro.
on the real,
It doesn't make sense.
The most
It
important
doesn't make
thing
sense.
is that the player gets to play a game how they want it. That's all that really matters.
Yep.
Nothing else matters. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It doesn't matter what the company even thinks because the company's making the game for the player to enjoy.
Yeah.
The only thing that matters is the player likes what they're doing. If they want a skip button, they should have a skip button because people.
Bro, again, I will never understand why people think giving more options to the consumer in a game that's predatory as hell, that you have to spend money. You really have to spend money. Let's be honest. You have to spend money at some point. Is a bad thing. Like, what? Do you not think you deserve a skip button after spending $3,000 on Genshin Impact, or do you just want to sit through the app? I think part of the reason why a lot of Genshin players, or I think Hoyo in itself, won't provide a skip button, unless maybe they are and I'm wrong. Maybe something's coming. I think a lot of the reasons why they add this yap, I don't know if they get paid per minute or whatever the case may be, but I feel like that is their main content because there's nothing to do in the game. So they want to keep you on there as long as possible because once you finish that shit, there's fucking nothing to do. There's the exploration, locked behind characters, shitty Saurians, all the other regions are fucking. But I just think that is their marketing strategies. Like, how can we take this 10-minute dialogue and expand it to 45 minutes so that way we can keep it going. I agree with you 1,000%, Wuma. That is such a good take as well that I want to bring up in a moment. Because they don't like consumers being blah, 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 blah. I never seen Genshins play Genshin. Wait, I absolutely love that. Despite your differences with other creators, you're not afraid to talk about people. That's some news. I don't understand how much jokes. Yeah, but I appreciate you, Kat. I appreciate you, brother. Anytime, man. I appreciate the fuck out of you. Thank you, man. I think Yap is the localization gap, to be real, honestly. Maybe. I do think this is 100% correct. We should 100% should have a skip button, but at the same time, they shouldn't add everything that users want. 1,000%. 1,000%. There's so much bad feedback in the world about these games. It's fucking insane. I think this was the thing that I brought up when Saint was like, well, guys, if you guys are giving bad feedback, how are the devs going to know what to listen to? Something along those lines. Saint didn't say that directly, but that was heavily implied. I think that the developers, if they're in touch enough with their game, they can know where to weave out good feedback and bad feedback. If you have people just complaining about fucking, I don't know, the gender gap ratio, right? Like, there's not enough men in the game compared to someone saying, hey, there's echo XP problems. The flight is fucked up at 120 FPS. The nightmare echoes are bugged. Certain things like that. They should be able to, think that. Also, what's going on, Arash? How you feeling, brother? Between Tech and Gateo, Arash, I was a part of it. Gateo's a fucking idiot. Fuck him. They fixed the flight. God bless. God bless. Exactly. But yeah, it's like why are we assuming the developers are not competent enough? And I'm not saying you are, Wuma, but a lot of people think the developers are not competent enough to sort through bad feedback, right? So I just think like that in itself, no, they shouldn't add everything people say, but things like, hey, fucking fix Echo XP, or in Genshin, unlock talents, so that way talents not locked to similar days. People used to think that they couldn't physically unlock talents. Now, if you don't play the game for a month, you can go get talents any day of the week. Any day of the week, you can get talents. So it's just fucking stupid. It's just honestly dumb as hell. So yeah, I agree with you without a doubt. What male characters therefore now game EOS soon for real? Yeah, I know.
People who want to use it will use it. People who don't want to won't use it.
We'll just
It's
fucking
literally
enjoy the
like
story.
The most brain dead obvious thing ever, I feel like. So I don't see how you can ever argue against it. It's just you're literally adding to your game. You're not taking anything away.
For sure.
People get to do what they want.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah. I agree. I'm a person that doesn't really play games in general. I know this is a hot take cancellation of me, but I don't play them for story. So if I wanted to come into the game and just go straight into the combat, unlocking the characters and pulling and enjoying the explorative puzzles,
Why is Pokemon?
I want to do that. And there's good that is an option for me. And every game should have that, because there's a lot of people like me who don't give a crap about any story or lore and just want to get straight into the gameplay. I like that that's an option.
Yeah, I mean, people play games for all different reasons. Like, why wouldn't we give everyone a chance to play the game how they want?
100% Ziggy.
Exactly.
100% like legit same. My cousins, the ones who introduced me to Genshin, won't come back to the story because they're too. It's, in their words, overwhelming to have to catch up from Sumeru to now Natlan with all the in between stuff they have to do as well. It's overwhelming. It's very, very overwhelming. And like there is no skip button, so it feels like a job. Now, unless you're super hyper focused and love every single facet of the story, which not everyone does, I actually think it's high key a vocal minority that does. I think a lot of people just don't say how they feel, but that's a different conversation. I think like, hey, we should change this. We should change this, Similar to Star Rail. I think Star Rail same way as well. Woo Story, no, not Woo Story. Although Woo Story is still low-key mid too. Free to Five doesn't realize that too. Fontaine resource and link too. Yep, exactly, ding. Exactly, it's fucking stupid. It's dumb as hell.
Genocide saying like it's just a no-brainer. It's very odd that people see that adding a skip button is like an admission of something. That's such a odd take to have.
I mean, it's also like games like Final Fantasy XIV and Xenoblade also have a skip and summarize. I feel like it's really
and
not
that's
that
some of the best. And they have some of the best stories. Period.
It completely obliterates Genshin. To be honest, it clears all Gacha storytelling. It's really
easily.
Yeah.
I don't think so, MC. I disagree with that. It's tough to balance between having an engaging story and allowing people to catch up quickly, so I skip a big chunk of it, unfortunately. I disagree with that. I don't think it's very challenging at all. I think you just allow them to hit skip. I think you just allow them to hit skip and give a short summary the same exact way Wua does, the same exact way Xenoblade does, and just call it a day. Like, I don't think it's this overwhelmingly negative thing or this overwhelmingly hard thing to do. If you wrote 500,000 million words of dialogue, you could sum it up in 30 words or a paragraph. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think so. Does anyone read summary? I read summaries. When I skip in Wua, I read the summary, and some people don't read the summary. And the great part about it is that it's the player's choice. It's all about giving the player a choice. Even if they don't want to read the summary, who cares? fuck it, bro. Let them fucking go on about their day. They want to fly around and read the game. I mean, and play the game and just bullshit, you know? You should never skip 5 story. It's amazing, but you can skip everything. Exactly, say. I remember when I got an exit to Genshin and she started swiping heavy right away and tried to play catch up like a year or two back. Yeah, and they get fucked because they physically can't. Like, they just can't, right? Story-rich games in China are a huge thing, but the thing is, like Gacha said, it should have been more cutscenes and better storytelling, not just sock puppets standing in a circle. Yeah, it's idle scene 1, Traveler. Your sister joined the abyss, and then it's pose 2, Traveler. Your sister joined the abyss, and then it's pose scene 3. It's just fucking stupid, you know. Woo does a good job of storytelling. ZZZ does a good job of storytelling. Show people, don't tell them. But because people have praised Genshin to the infinity and beyond, as well as Star Rail, it doesn't change. The reason why it doesn't change is because, guys, I've said this a million times. Even he said it yesterday. Genshin sets the industry standard. Genshin and Star Rail set the industry standard, and if people are not complaining, if people are not bringing anything up about it, they will never change it. There's no need for them to change it because people are just eating it up and spending money. So why does it matter? You know what I'm saying? The people that appreciate the story like a much shouldn't be so pressed to skip button. Why does it bother other people? 1000%. The people that appreciate the story and like it shouldn't be so pressed that there's a skip button. Why does it bother them? Others don't want to be forced into joining something's trash to them. It's such a weird take. Back to that tweet before. Oh, you skipped part of the story? Your opinion's invalid. Like, holy fucking shit. Like, no, it's not. Like, bro, if you watch... Let's look at Breaking Bad, for example. If you watch Breaking Bad, this is a story thing because it's a fucking TV show, right? So it's a story. Or we could even go to let's go to a video game. If you play The Witcher 3, and if you are not invested in the characters in the first 30 minutes, it could be one of two things. It could be that the writers did a bad job getting you invested, which I don't really think that's the case, but it's possible. Maybe you just preferably don't like their writing style, or you just don't fucking care and you want to play the game. The Witcher 3 is one of the best stories of all time. If someone said, yeah, I love the game, but I skipped the story, I'd be like, oh man, that sucks. You should go watch. It's really cool. It wasn't my cup of tea. Okay. No, what? You didn't like this story, but you played all through Witcher 3? You're a piece of fucking shit. Your opinion's invalid. Like, what the fuck? Do you know how fucking stupid I would sound? People who play Elden Ring don't give a fuck about the lore, right? They go outside, they watch videos on it, they do the little readings. Most people don't play Elden Ring for the lore. A lot of these Elden Ring players aren't like these crazy elitist. Well, actually, you should have known that when you fight the find like, shut the fuck up. You know, like, just shut the fuck up. It's so fucking stupid. Give the players a choice. It's so dumb. It's so stupid. Genshin has been in a comfortable position forever, so they don't actually need to change. They don't need to change. Let them miss the lore if they want to. Exactly. Yo, what's going on? A while, Tenshi. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the follow, man. Damn you, welcome, and how are you? Hope you're having a great day today. I try to read stories and lore, but I still forget everything all the time. Don't know how lore fanatics can memorize these things. Also, that's the other problem, too. The jargon that they provide in these games are fucking insane. It's like you're being employed and just learning a new set of jargon. It's crazy. Of a game that collabs a lot of enemies, so you can play favorite anime characters. Cat, I don't necessarily mind if they don't collab with animes personally. Like, you shouldn't be able to skip Monster Bellabog because they're part of the guide. Other than that, go ahead. I agree, Say. I think that's a perfectly fair take. Don't skip the part of the story that is giving you just the simple basic tutorial. You might have to play the game for 2 hours and then you can unlock everything. I think that's 100% fair. I think it's very fair and very valid. So yeah.
I've always been of the opinion, and sorry that I'm late, guys. I got a message from Techie that was saying 9, and I thought it was moved to 9, so that's why I'm a little bit late.
Are you all good, man?
So my bad on that. But
how's the volume, by the way? I didn't even realize.
The point that when you guys have a skip button, that just means that your story has to be better to account for it, right? It puts more responsibility on the developers. If your story genuinely is bad, if your story is unvoiced, then people, they're not going to have as much incentive to complete it. And so I think we kind of have just been seeing it from 1.3 onward, right? The quality of the story, the storytelling, it's all been increased over time. And there's just simply not as many people skipping those essential components. And especially not in 2.0. I feel like there's not a lot of people that skip 2.0 at all.
There's no way for us to know that, unfortunately. I don't disagree with them. I think 2.0 was pretty good, but also at the end of the day, it's still a Gacha story. There's actually legitimately no proof of this, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
I skipped a little bit, not gonna lie. I think 2.0 had
I skipped
okay, me personally, I think there was some part in 2.0 it was kind of yappy. There was this guy, there's this old guy. Wait, is this spoilers?
Oh my god, thank god Pokey said it. Holy fucking shit. I had someone in my YouTube chat fucking telling me I was dumb as hell. I hikey got one guide, but the guy in Act 3, I'm not gonna spoil it, the old dude was the fucking dumbest shit ever. It felt like a Genshin quest. But yeah.
No,
Okay.
just be
I feel
vague.
like there was-
I know
Just
who
be
you're
vague. Just be
talking
vague.
about.
You're good.
There's this old guy. Oh my lord, the entire
Yeah.
chunk is completely irrelevant. Okay, but
You meant the
I would say,
balloons? You mean that thing?
yeah. Like,
Yeah, I
That shit was
what
fucking
is this
ass.
happening, bro?
They pulled it here and go grab during that part too, some ass. That part, Act 3, other than the last about 45, 50 minutes of Act 3, the beginning like 30 was really solid. The middle 45-ish minutes was really felt like a Genshin Impact quest. It really felt like a Genshin. That was my only critique of the story, honestly, in terms of that. Was it Mr. Priest? No, I'm talking about the old man with the balloons. What was the wrong with it? Pirate, I won't go too in-depth the details about it. I'm going to give it a couple more days. Maybe I'll make a whole video breaking it down or just talk about it a couple days on stream. I'm going to give people the chance to play it. But I thought it was very Genshin Impact-esque. It's one of those things where dialogue that lasted 40, 45 minutes could have been cut down to 10 to 15 minutes, but it was just yapping for the sake of yapping. I finished it with the old man. You finished it, but not everybody else finished it. So I'm not going to go too in-depth about that because, again, a lot of people haven't. The balloon guy that was throwing the confetti, yeah, I like the plans that you get. How you hallucinate the minigames. Yeah, that was funny. Also, it was good. It was good, Angel. How you feeling, brother?
like it's so out of place. Just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
look
yeah,
forward to
yeah.
the old man. I'm going to read every
Okay,
single.
story.
I'm going to read every.
About Genshin,
So,
okay.
do we all believe that Genshin Impact is by design a story-based game?
No.
Yes. That's what you
yeah.
spend most of your time doing in the game, right? Like
By
every
Something
design,
waste
like
your
for
time
what?
with.
No.
if
No.
you're completing all the content in the game, most of it is story, right?
No.
I thought it was a mint picking simulator.
That's what
I
comes
think by
after.
design, any
I'm gonna be real.
game
When you
is
when you
like-
compare it to the other, oh, would you go?
I think any game that has the title RPG is a storytelling game in some capacity.
Really?
I don't know about
Because
that.
like, what about ARPG? Like a game like Diablo or Path of Exile, people don't really play for the story generally.
You don't have
right?
to
Skip the
play
first
for
part
the
of
story.
Huggins'
That's the
Rex
story.
comment. I need to
The
watch YouTube
focus
video.
of the
It's a
story
pro.
is,
That's
like,
my thing. Is like,
dependent on
is,
like how
Look
well
at
you
that
want to do
thing.
it.
like, is it a game that has a story, or is it a story-based?
It's not a
game?
story-based
I
game.
think it's a story-based game, 100%.
I think it's a story.
Now,
Yeah.
are you
I don't
saying
agree.
that because
I think
nothing
it's
else in the
story-based.
game is worth doing, or are you saying it because you think that is how it is by
Yes.
design?
I think it is by design.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
disagree with them.
That's
I really
That's
do.
why I don't think they'll
I
like
think there's just
give us
nothing else
a.
to do.
I don't. That's why I think that's why they don't give us like a Spiral Abyss like 13 or 14. I mean, they did give Imaginarium Theater, but like,
Like when I think of story-based game, I think of a Telltale game. I highly disagree with this. I think the game sucks, right? I don't think the game is good, but I think it over time got the narrative of story-based game because there is nothing to do. But at the end of the day, you still pay for characters, you still pay for level ups, you still pay for weapons. Like you still have to build your characters. Like I don't think Genshin is a story-based game. You know, it's good. I'm sorry, trying to read a few lines. I think Genshin. I think they're saying it's a story game because Genshin makes biggest deal about the story. They're so wrong. They don't know what they're talking about. Blah, 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 blah. Telltale, yes. Batman's story was good. Not need to finish Walking Dead. Walking Dead and Telltale was good. But yeah, I understand the perspective. Like yes, it has story and maybe story is the emphasis, but I don't think it is a story game. I think that is disingenuous to say because realistically, there is still things to do. You could pick Mint. You have to explore the whole world. Now, I'm not going to do that because I find it boring. I think Genshin is very boring at this point in time. But there really is. They have Imaginarium Theater. They have the Abyss, right? They have their shitty events, and then they have a whole fucking map to explore. The exploration takes more time than the story. I would put $50 on that. I think the exploration is longer than the Archon quest. You know, the only person on the podcast I've seen play Genshin is 5. It's hard to trust the rest of the opinions. Divided into 3: storytelling, game story, base game story, game story. Yeah, I think it's 100% depends on your interpretation. When I hear story based game, I think of like again a Telltale game. Right? Someone said a Persona game. Persona games, I don't know. I've never played a Persona game, so I can't speak on that. What's good, Bishop? Story is the only reason I ever pick it up and play it. Also, why I never bother Spiral Abyss, which has no story. And I think that is fine. But I think to make a blanket statement that the game is just going back to this tweet, adding a skip button to a game that's focused on story, I just don't agree with that. I don't. I would love to hear what everyone else thinks. I wish I was there. I really don't know how. Let's let them talk.
it's decent, but yeah.
But yeah,
they
I don't.
took away. So there was an event Maybe some people in chat could remind me what it was called. There was an event long
Vagabond?
time ago. That was what was it?
Vagabond.
Yeah, Vagabond. Vagabond was at its time like the most challenging event. Basically, you could at a certain point add buffs to the bosses
Yep.
to make them this strong, but
I
then
think I
you don't have
remember
to go that far to get max rewards. But you could go further beyond as like, you know, if you want to challenge
That
yourself.
shit was fun as
And then-
fuck.
And then they nerfed the shit out of it on a rerun. So it does
Variable difficulty is really fun. I agree.
yeah. So it really makes you question if they even want to make hard challenging content. I think they just want to focus on
don't.
story. So which for me is like I don't mind it because I just go to ZZZ if I want like better combat.
So so the combat system in Genshin has an inherent flaw in comparison to Wuthering Waves. So there is the elemental reaction system in Genshin is actually flawed when you flip the reactions to the enemy side. So let's just say
Wait, let me
enemy
rewind that.
able
What did he say?
Yeah. So it really makes you. I think they just want to focus if I want.
an inherent flaw
Wait,
in
hold on, let me lock in.
comparison to Wuthering Waves. So there is the elemental reaction system in Genshin is actually flawed when you flip the reactions to the enemy side. So let's just say an enemy was able to react against you. There isn't a way to prevent the damage that's coming toward you in a way that you can negate it without adding resistances. So like, you know how in Hawkeye Star Rail there's resistances and defense? Well, when the reactions hit you in Genshin, you can't defend against it without using one specific character that everybody hates in Udea, or by just overblowing up your shield. So if you have enemies that consistently react against you, then you have huge problems where they're able to just kill you instantly. And they haven't changed the defensive capabilities of the characters to like accommodate that.
The Magu Kenki with Bennett?
No, there's a local legend dude named Liam you can really see it on. He hits with a
No, I don't think he's wrong. I think what he's saying makes sense. You either need Dia for interruption resistance or Zhongli's shield. I feel like there's nothing really... I don't think there's really anything inherently wrong with what he's saying right now. I think Sekka's cooking here, honestly. I want to make this clear, by the way, because we are going to disagree with what he says. I do like Sekka Poco. I think Sekka Poco, I don't agree with all of his takes, but I've said this multiple times. I think he's very articulate, and I can respect the fact that he's able to convey his opinion in a very articulate way. Even though I don't always agree with it, I do respect Sekka Poco quite a bit.
like all the different elements. He'll throw like a pyro thing, then a hydro thing. It's like a treasure hoarder, like one of those like NPC looking dudes. And he'll throw something at you.
Pirate,
and it does
that
like
too.
your entire HP bar with one overload. And you have no defensive mechanic against it. So Wuthering Waves doesn't have that gimmick of a damaging reaction against you that you can't dodge. So if the enemies get too high level, there's a huge issue.
Yeah, but just verify, nobody would want that.
Yeah, no one would want that.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
an
that's
inherent
just-
flaw in the combat.
Yeah, that's just horrible.
It's not that much of a flaw if they just don't make enemies do reactions, though, right? They could just not
Yeah.
make them ever do reactions, right?
That's what is happening, and that's why the entirety of like Spiral Abyss has not had elemental reactions against you in high frequency. Like the most hated Spiral Abysses are when enemies have two different
What up,
elements
Joe?
when they're attacking you, and like you get frozen. You're like, this is
There is no fun mechanic. No, there is no fun mechanic. Lost will go, baby. What up, Joe? There is no fun mechanic in the game. There's legitimately nothing. There's no perfect. Actually, okay, whoa. Let me rephrase that. Let me stop. Let me be fair. The local legends, at least from 5.0, were pretty cool. Especially the one where you had to do the dodge and it slows down time. That was actually a legitimate mechanic. That was, I guess you want to say, stole from Mu or whatever. It was a legitimate mechanic that occurred, and I don't know why they have the means to implement these mechanics. They do have the means to implement these mechanics 100%. So, but they just don't. So I guess that's why maybe they're saying it's a story-based game. But my counterpoint to that whole thing is like I don't think it is just a story game. If it was just a story game, we would not have all these other options for things, right? So yeah, I think Love and Deep Space is a story game. He's not cooking. There's so many units that counteract other than Zhongli Dia, and if you get reacted and die, it's a fucking skill issue because you aren't dodging anything. I fought it before. Me and other Genshin streamers who I will not mention both have cost like effort dumbass takes so many times before because this man does shit. But also those duo shield enemies are irritating, but they're still pass. I think you low-key have like an emotional reaction to what he's saying Because okay, he's in ads. All right, cool. The problem is Sekka is one of the few people who knows what monster has the resistance. The info is not available in game. It's not available in game. It's not. It's not. Yeah. Can you breathe? Yeah. No, brother. I'm go to it. I'm go to it. Come on. You know me. You know me. I be out here. I be out here spitting.
This is fucking bullshit. Or you're fighting like a hydro enemy and you're applied with pyro and you get instant one shot. And you're like, this is bullshit. And
so
like,
you're saying it became stale, kind of?
No, it's
or
a really difficult thing to introduce into the game for their development side, so the players find it enjoyable.
Yo, enjoy,
Otherwise,
Irma. Enjoy. Thank you, brother.
Situation where you're like, you know how like in WoWa when we were all doing the holograms when the first game first came out, and like you were trying to go in with like level 7.
I got you 2 seconds, murder.
Characters and try to beat it, and everybody's getting one shot, and there's things that you couldn't avoid in the boss that were just like you had to use a full iframe like that lasted like 2 seconds to get around. It would be like that, but like the iframes in Genshin won't allow you to block these types of abilities.
The game's just not built for it, essentially.
Yeah, it's really it's a really odd thing for the electro and dendro reactions in the game.
That's understandable.
Yes, that just sounds like super bad.
Yeah, so that's why they haven't really put it back in the game.
Well, I'm going to be completely real. I don't think Genshin is at all made for difficulty. And this is going to sound like
I think that's such a good take as well. It's not made for
super
difficulty.
crazy doomer hatred take, I guess, but I feel this way about a lot of gachas.
So
but
I've probably said
I think the purpose of Genshin.
Gachas are not difficult. Gachas not difficult, including Weathering Waves, including WoWa, including those new holograms. Those are not the hardest holograms at all. We will do hologram clears for you guys, chat, by the way, but yeah, it's not the hardest ones. Do you think they'll ever make Genshin more combat oriented? No. Murder. I think what they've done is they are making a universe, right? They're making a Hoyoverse, and they have HSR for the Como CDHA turn-based mechanics. They have Genshin for the exploration and a little bullshit combat. ZZZ will be their main combat-oriented game. They will drop their Animal Crossing game, which will be for funsies for older people to play and whatnot, and for them to make a bag. And then eventually they'll make another MMO, and like it just goes on. It just goes on. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think they'll ever go back to Genshin and really intrinsically change the combat the way Sekka is saying. I think it'd be cool if they did. I think Sekka is saying this and pretty much saying that's why they maybe, I don't know. I don't want to twist his words. Maybe he's interpreting it that it's a little bit more of a story game, but I just don't think it is intrinsically a story game. I just don't agree with that. Yo, what's good, Spirit? How you feeling, brother? Good morning, man. For my free-to-play SK2 holograms beyond my for my account, I'd be able to do it for you, Bishop. Don't worry about it. Oreo, I feel like your response is a little emotional. I think your response is a little emotional, man. I'm not going to lie to you. All Sekka is saying is that for a majority of the players, you either need Zhongli or Dia interruption resistance to not get one-shot by an elemental reaction from a boss. I really don't think it's that deep, to be very transparent with you. I think if you were to say like C6 Dia is the best DPS in the game, yeah, it's a shit take, right? Like, and he really loves Dia. I don't know why, but he fucking loves Dia. I don't know the correlation, but I just feel like this is kind of a really, really emotional take, especially because realistically, most of the people do have a skill issue. They brought it up in this conversation, but only about 8% of the community is on Twitch and YouTube, right? So if Ziox, let's just say, gets 1 million views for a guide, right? There's 60 million people playing Genshin. 1 million people watching out of 60 million, the percentile is so small that like that is why I think, and I try to check myself as well. Sometimes we have to look from the casual perspective and the hardcore perspective and have that understanding. I still don't think gacha games are hard, what Genazad said, but yeah, I think I get what you're saying, but it seems a little bit more. Maybe you don't like them. I don't know. That's your fucking business. But I don't think it's a bad take at all. I really don't. I think it's pretty quite fair, to be honest with you. I bring up Genshin because it's supposed to be like a Breath of the Wild clone at high advisory. Oh, 100%. Wait, what happened? I'm confused. Yes, I think it's very similar. It's huge game. Tons of blah, blah, blah. By the way, do TOA 10 Middle Tower is really doable now with Carlotta, but I have no idea if I'm doing hers. No, I'm probably not doing TOA today. High key lost. I'm not doing high key today. I think it's kind of bullshit, but then again, our casual is really going to be fighting local legends. I doubt it. I mean, maybe they would, right? It's in the game, but even if they're not fighting local legends, I still think it still has to be somewhat accessible to them. And so the whole like thing about the game is like, my interpretation of what Seka said is that there's no mechanics in the game to allow you to actually play it without Zhongli or Dia. I think that's actually a very fair point. There's no parrying, there's no perfect dodging, there's no counterattacks. It's pretty much straightforward. What is a local legend? It's a Natlan thing. It's pretty much their version of holograms. Just very damn gimmicky. We'll see, Lost. We'll see what the deal is. We'll see. We had a whole thing earlier. We'll see what happens.
And is essentially in a way to waste your time. And I mean, all games are meant to do that, but Genshin does it in every way possible. Traversing the world, you gotta run. Oh, you're out of stamina.
It's in Fontaine too, but the Natlan ones are actually harder.
To go up a wall, you gotta slowly crawl.
Got you.
When you're talking to NPCs, you can't skip. Just every possible thing in the game sort of is geared towards taking as much time as possible. Because realistically, if an update came out, and this is the same for like Honkai Star Rail, ZZZ, I mean, you know, for the most part, a lot of Wuthering Waves. If you just skip all the story, what's in the update? A new character and like...
I agree, Sass. I agree.
You have to pay money
2
for
new
it.
quests.
I agree.
There's nothing. There's no content really in these games when you skip the story a lot of the time. So if they let you skip it, then everyone's just going to be spamming the subreddit like, this worst update, no content, this is so bad, right?
I don't know if I agree with that, though.
So they're going with like the old gacha model. Like,
I don't know if I agree with
the more time
that.
you spend in a game, the more likely you are to spend money in that game. It's just facts. That's why they do it.
I agree, Spirit, 100%. We're going to make a video about that probably later tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to upload it tomorrow, hopefully.
That's kind of
so in the before pre 2.0, my feeling was in Wuthering Waves, I felt like there was nothing to do for a very long period of time. My critique of Honkai Star Rail is that was for a long period of time. Once you finish the start, there's nothing to do for a very long period of time. My critique of Zenless Zone Zero at the start was there was so much bullshit to do for so long of the time that it was exactly like you described.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think that any gacha game that is an RPG is immune to this type of thing, and I wouldn't single out Genshin.
I got you 2 seconds, Hero. I got you.
You're absolutely right.
Okay, so my opinion is for gacha games that you cannot play one as a main game. These are not main games. People play them as main games. People play the same gacha for 8 hours a day. It makes no fucking sense. I'm not trying to do that. You should always cycle between 3, especially if you're a content creator. I think the problem is with Genshin is that it's the out of Zenless Zone Zero and Wuthering Waves, Honkai Star Rail has this issue a little bit. It's just I think it's fair to say it's very, very slow in every regard. It's very slow.
Yeah.
And there's also a lack of autoplay as well.
What do you mean by very slow?
Okay, the
game is slow.
The story, incredibly yappy. The grinding will take longer because there's no auto. Now, there are some things that you can kill very quickly. The combat, there is a lot of times where you are taken out of it to where your character is frozen and or one-shot, and the content relies on bullet sponge mechanics to where it's less about doing the fight.
What's going on, Kick? How you feeling, brother? You can definitely play anything. Play nothing but a single gacha game all day, though. The point isn't that you can't do that. That's not the point. Also, welcome in, brother. Hope you're having a great day today, man. The point is that if you play that one single gacha game 24/7 and you're only playing on your account, you're going to easily run out of content more and wind up being more frustrated and have more of a critical view as opposed to sitting down and playing the game for what the patch was for maybe a week or two and be like, okay, cool, I'll come back to this eventually. It's very two different things. Of course, you could play a game all day, but the point is the game is not sustained for you to play it for really more than a week, realistically. Wuwa 2.0 is not... I love it. I think it's the best gacha update of all time. There's really nothing more than about a week's worth of content here, unless they might have dripped something here or there, or maybe they'll drop another new event, but that's really it, you know? Even paid gamers... Exactly, 100%. It's funny, Genshin, when you do a story boss, literally two-shot it with Navi, and then after for 10 minutes straight up to play 30 seconds. Yep, exactly. You're going to get burnt out 100%. Can and should are two different things. Exactly. So yeah, that's the clarification on that statement if you didn't understand the context of it.
And more so just overcoming the fight with stats.
Yep, exactly, Hero.
Oh, but that's most gacha though.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. So you say that's most gacha.
I don't know why Techie didn't bring up talents are locked still by the day of the week. So by talents being locked by day of the week, Genshin Impact is intrinsically making you play the game longer due to the fact that if you miss, let's say you miss your one talent domain on Monday, you now have to wait till Thursday. If you miss Thursday, you have to wait till Sunday, and your resin feels wasted, and it also is just a very unforgiving system and makes you have massive FOMO, and you either have to log in every day or you get so frustrated to the point you stop playing playing the video game. So I also think that is one of the main reasons why Genshin Impact is fucking slow. It is slow as fuck. That is why it's super slow. Please keep that in mind. Because I think I grind WoW all day, and then when I play Genshin, I do the same thing when I get chest. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, Murder. I'm grinding WoW right now, but I'm not a big gamer zone, and maybe next week I'm going to switch back to HSR. Yeah, that's fine, you know. Nobody's saying you can't play the game or enjoy the game you want to play. That's not what they're saying. In my personal opinion, gacha games should take at most 30 minutes per day, and it's just a waste of your time. I don't think it's a waste of your time. I think people can play how they want to play. I don't think that's the thing. But you know, realistically, we do have to keep in mind that, like, we can't only, you know, you can't be mad if the game doesn't provide you with content to play it for a month straight, you know? Chill out, Busta Rhymes. I feel like I'm gonna get away, but I don't almost like it every day. Whoa, shaking every little pop in or something. Every time, brother, gotta get it. We have our new Eminem. Yep, exactly. I guess I'm too used to GBF. I don't know what GBF is. But in my personal opinion, blah, 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 he didn't miss a syllable. Nope.
So out of Zenless Zone Zero and Honkai Star Rail and Wuthering Waves, which one of those games has all of those? Not some of those, all of those.
The problem is I meant the overcoming
Fantasy? Oh, okay.
stats.
Yeah, every gacha.
Sure. Well, almost every. I think the problem is that the skill ceiling and the skill floor for Genshin are very close. Whereas games for Wuwa, they're very different. Like, for example, I got in a call with saying
you think that, but
I think he's dragging it a little bit.
So I've had the like, I guess, the fortune to go to like game conventions and invited by Genshin to like play with the average player, right? These people are I haven't been invited for Genshin for anything for a million years, but these people are the average Genshin player they're really bad.
Yeah,
and I think that's not just the average. I think that's just the average gacha player, right?
They're just, I think that's average game player.
They don't have hands. Like, it's bad.
I mean, you and I both acknowledge we've been playing with Marvel Rivals. We're both Plat. Plat is better than 97% of people who play the game. You and I both got there in less than 20 fucking games.
Yeah.
I think the majority of gamers are fucking shit. Absolutely.
Okay, first off, is Marvel Rivals good? Because I've been hearing like mixed things.
Characters.
It's got the porn, it's got the hentai, it's got the wolf.
It's got all that. Yeah.
It's got everything.
I mean, I know it's cool to hate on Overwatch and stuff.
All right, let's put a cap on Genshin. Power creep.
Is that the skill floor and the skill ceiling for games like Genshin are very close. Same thing with HSR. I honestly feel that way. I feel like the difference between autoplay and manualing HSR, it's honestly like there's a difference, but it's like 20%. Mr. Pokey would probably disagree, which is why I hate how he's not here. Because I want to talk
wait for him to leave before saying that.
I mean, okay, so like I think the more free to play you are, and the more like resource intensive like problems that you have, the more that's not true. But the more that you spend money, that there's a little difference. But like,
the
I'd
thing
say
is
30 or 40, but not like 20.
Honkai Star Rail combat is not hard. It's the team building.
Wait, hold on. Let me rewind that. I want to make sure I'm understanding what Seka just said correctly before I say something.
Intense like problems that you have, the more that.
What was the point there? What did I miss?
The skill floor and the skill ceiling for games like Genshin are very close.
Yeah.
Same thing with HSR. I honestly feel that way. I feel like the difference between autoplay and manualing HSR, it's honestly like there's a difference, but it's like 20%. Mr. Pokey would probably disagree, which is why I hate how he's not here. Because I want to
wait for him to leave before saying that.
I mean, okay, so like I think the more free to play you are, and the more like resource intensive like problems that you have, the more that's not true. But the more that you spend money, that there's a little difference. But like,
the
I'd
thing
say
is
30 or 40, but not like 20.
Honkai Star Rail combat is not hard. It's the team building and before the fight.
Absolutely.
The actual fight itself is easy as shit. That's why he's saying like auto is like so simple too. It's any turn-based game. It's about before the fight. I would
100%.
It would be true if certain characters did what you needed them to do when you press the button.
I think the issue with Honkai Star Rail is you get less and less incentivized to vertical invest in HSR because just like
Noel, I appreciate it. Thank you, Dab me up. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in, very great today. Appreciate you. Thank you. Business that whales are shitting on people without experiencing their problems. I don't know if I agree with that, but it's okay. Let's lose the same. But again, I appreciate the follow. Thank you. Let's hear what he has to say.
It does
Let's see what
feel
they have
like
to
power
say.
creep kind of hits hard over there.
That's something that I
Creep is
don't
crazy.
know how
That's
people
the
aren't
one
complaining
thing.
about. It is actually
So cold,
fucking
so cold, so
horrible.
cold, so cold.
Mr.
the reason
Pokey, because you're a resident HSR guy here.
I said this in a video with Sarah. I have to upload it. Maybe I'll cut it up tonight. I said one of the reasons why a lot of people don't play HSR or think it's very overwhelming is due to the fact that the meta changes so fast. Black Swan came out in 2.0. By 2.2, 2.3, she was an afterthought by Acheron, right? Then after that, Firefly comes out, 2.5? Now Super Break is massive. Rappa comes out 2.6, 2.7. They're an afterthought. 2.8, another character comes out. Like, they're consistently making units feel like they either have to pull for or you feel stupid for not pulling. But what's the Acheron best in slot support? What's their name? Jouchi? I don't remember their name. A lot of people skipped on that homie, but now in order to make Acheron up to that level, if they're C0, you need that character. Honkai Star Rail power creep is fucking absurd. It's absurd. It's good for new players in some sense, but it's bad for everyone else, and they really do provide FOMO due to the fact that, again, you never know who's going to be good. This banner character might be really shitty for now, but 3 patches later, they might put someone that perfectly encapsulates and synergizes with them, that peanut butter jelly style. So power creep in HSR is fucking insane. It really is. Yeah, I quit HSR because of power creep. Yeah, meta changes quickly in the relic system. Suck on my pin already. I thought dropping it. Yeah, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. It is rough.
The power creep of HSR feels fucking terrible right now.
Fucking
it does.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Okay, great. Okay, we're on the same page. All right, never mind that. All right. Hey, hell, fuck yeah.
Fuck you, Pokey. You don't think it's bad. Piece of shit.
While
No,
you were
I
gone, Mr.
love
Pokey,
Pokey.
I did have a take where I said the skill floor to the skill ceiling is very close in games like Genshin Impact and Honkai Star.
Skill. I thought damage. My bad.
Oh, you're all good. And so I wanted to say
just like I said, damage. Okay, he clarified his take.
We believe that the majority of skill in Honkai Star Rail comes before the fight. They're preparing the.
No, Hero. I think casuals can care about power creep. I actually think addressing power creep is very good for casuals. Again, because once you're a casual and you get into a game that you're enjoying, like, oh my god, this is the best unit of all time, and then 3 patches later that unit is now brought down a peg, and 2 more patches later they're obsolete. I think that makes that new player, especially if they spent money, or even not even money, just their time feels like it's wasted due to the fact that they've just spent so much fucking time grinding for this unit, and now they feel like fucking stupid because it's gone, you know? It just us creators are kind of funny to me. I got you 2 seconds, Osteo. Let me bring Osteo up as well. Osteo, my baby daddy. HSR creators are kind of funny to me. It was pretty obvious Jouchi was going to be excellent for Acheron, and every slept on him until after his banner was gone and Zero Cycle started showing up. Same thing happened with Link Show and 1 patch later, and then happened with Rappa patch after. People just lack foresight. Here's the thing, MC. I don't necessarily disagree with this take, but I think the problem is that the HSR devs continuously do this over and over and over per banner. You should not have to feel like if there's 30 million people playing, and again, only 5 to 7 to 8% of people are actually in touch with the meta and are on YouTube and on Twitch, you should not have to feel the need to consistently stay up to date with it like it is the daily news to understand how the meta is working and shifting. I think that's fucking crazy. So while I agree with you, I understand what you're saying, I agree with you a little bit, but I think it's a little exaggerated to the point where it is not okay. Not saying that this makes it acceptable, but I think the meta in a turn-based game like HSR has to change quickly because the fact that team building is the skill gap between team building and everything. Changing the meta keeps the game alive because it's not like an action game where you could just, for sure, without a doubt, but I think the only problem with changing the meta so fast is how things like DOT is fucking dead in the water. People tell me DOT with Acheron is good. Guys, that's not good because of DOT. It's good because of Acheron, because Acheron's a fucking unit when you can run her properly. So I don't necessarily think changing the meta 100% is bad, but I think it's the way they do it, how they drop these characters, and creating more FOMO, especially now with the 8-banner system. I think it is a little exaggerated. They did okay with it at first. I think it's taken a new step. Only obsolete if you're trying to max out endgame NOC and Apocalyptic Shadow. I'm completely free to play casual, and the game is not that hard. Oh, for sure, Bishop. Yeah. I mean, again, we're talking from an endgame perspective, but casual players, some of them, the goal of a video game is to provide, especially a gacha game, the best content of all that they could provide to you to keep you playing, to keep you spending money, but also giving content to lead players into not being casual, into being hardcore, into being whales. So when they don't incentivize you to do any of these endgame modes because of how strict these team compositions are, it scares people away. And that I think is something that I don't think a lot of people talk about. So I don't disagree with you from a free-to-play perspective, for sure, man. Fucking use your DOT. You'll eventually be able to beat Aventurine. They had to nerf him because he was too hard. People were saying, oh, he wasn't too hard. He was hard for the casual player. But it is an inherently fuck loop, like Osteo said. So I don't disagree with you, but I think that they want to funnel people to be whales. And then they become a whale, maybe for a little bit, and then they realize, holy fuck, this game loop is crazy. I don't want to be in it, and then they get out, you know? So yeah, not investing in their teams, actually care about a PogChamp. I doubt it. Blah 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 blah. Wait, what do I say? They're putting power creep into units that better inflating enemy. Yeah, it's fucking, the HP insane is crazy. Like right now in HSR, we got Linkship being able to do 2 million damage. She's a healer, by the way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking crazy. It's pretty crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's. So I think HSR is just possibly the most. I don't want to say predatory, although maybe you could say that, but I don't want to say that. But I think HSR power creep is taking a turn where it has negatively impacted the game. And this game that people once loved so much and held in such high regards, I think a lot of people have turned sour on because of how they've handled their power creep.
Characters, the building the teams, and like getting the proper builds on them.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, okay, then great. Okay, hell yeah, easy peasy.
Oh, okay, yeah, easy.
So
yeah.
I get scared to talk
Power
about
creep,
that game.
Gacha game
I just want to make
skins.
sure the HSR God approves. All right, fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's just a spreadsheet simulator.
Really quick related
keep
okay,
going with your
though.
point. Oh.
Yeah.
The reason why that game got so boring, I think, and why it has so much power creep is because there's no depth, right?
Yep.
Agree.
Like the element system doesn't even matter anymore. They removed the only thing that was depth
That's-
in the
that
entire
shit
game.
made me
so
so
true.
angry.
Now it's just, Acheron kill whole team because it doesn't really matter what the enemy is. It will kill literally everything, right?
I got you 2
And that's
seconds
just not how the
MC.
game works. That's
Now,
I got
they
you
need to
2
add
seconds
more.
break.
Yeah,
Well,
they need to just
well,
add more
This
mechanics.
point, yeah.
They're adding back in like apparently anti super break, and so
Yeah, and
Okay,
then
then
they're just
somebody
gonna
will
add
do
in
that.
true damage.
One of the
What?
elements that I found really
What?
frustrating about
That's crazy. Super break. We just said it, right? We literally just spoke about it a couple minutes ago. Super break breaks the game, and it breaks all of the elemental reactions to the point where it's not needed. Now they're making anti-super break. So now all of your enemies, all of the enemies that are anti-super break, your super break people are now fucking useless. And so now we're going back to square one of now we need to match up shields. And so people are going to scramble to look for... It's just fucking stupid, guys. It's just dumb. You know what I'm saying? Super break! Rerun cycle will be... Well, Bishop, that's a whole different topic that I got into in a different video. But yeah, I only have... oh God, you lead with true damage buff? Yeah, man. It's going to be... It's not always strong enough to brute force. You mean Sealy's going to be good again? Oh, yeah. Sealy meta coming back, boys. Sealy Sparkle. It's the meta. It's the
was
meta.
how they would
It's the meta.
like every
Yep.
set number of patches, they would really force in a new mechanic. First it was follow-up attacks, then it was like
DOT.
Well,
I
actually,
believe
it was dot.
Yeah, actually, DOT.
Dot was
Actually,
your first
DOT.
big one.
Yeah,
but they killed that one in the crib.
I know, and it's broken my heart ever since.
They killed
Yeah.
that one in the crib. It's gotten
Kafka.
absolutely no support. And it's just
Oh,
they
07
seem to like
Kafka, boys.
force forward
07
like just
Kafka.
some new mechanic and just ham fist it into the combat, into the story, into the bosses in every single way. And you're kind of just like, what was the point of like me E2ing Blade or E2ing Sela? Like these characters are just
07
absolutely
Spirit.
fucking
07
worthless
brother.
dog water at this point. And what is the point of me pulling on
Yeah.
any of these new characters when they're just gonna get power crutched by the next new mechanic that's coming in? Now it's summons.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I want to bang out this, and then I got one more tweet to look at, and then we're done. We're out of here. I appreciate
To
you,
be
brother.
fair,
Thank
this
you.
is why back when HSR came out, and there are a lot of people glazing the like how generous HSR was, which
Yeah.
I agree. Like I think the quality of life that HSR devs gave us like at release compared to Genshin at
crazy.
that time was like head and shoulders above, way better, right? But the issue is I never thought HSR was generous because at the rate they pump 5 stars. Because the amount of FOMO you get and the amount of power creep that will incite, I was just
It's
like,
a really good
this is
take.
just-
It's a really solid take.
like you think it's generous, the game's generous, but they're trying to take as much money from you as possible with this maximizing FOMO.
I will be the devil's advocate for Hoyoverse for a moment, and I will say I think he's correct, but at the same time, HSR, as my British friends say, HSR prove that Hoyoverse is not always this really out of touch company, and they can listen and provide positive things to their game and positive feedback. So I will give them credit. HSR, I think, is what really changed Hoyoverse's reputation, as opposed to it's not fuck Hoyoverse because of Genshin, it's just fuck Genshin. And then ZZZ came out and ZZZ made changes. So I think HSR was that first moment of glimmer of hope or realization, or at least glimmer of hope for some Genshin people were like, oh my god, wait, they have the ability to make changes, but they just don't, right? And the realization, I should say, not glimmer of hope, but realization. So while I don't disagree with him, because it is still like, guys, if you are running 8 characters on a banner and you're only giving out 1 10 pull for free, that's fucking crazy. Increase the rewards a little bit. But yeah, so I will play devil's advocate a little bit for them because they just signed me to a new $1 million contract. That's obviously for legal reasons. That's a joke. But yeah, so I will say that. I will be fair to them. Completely ignore the beta feedback list and won't put it basically had other games to do it. Exactly, MC. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. And again, I don't disagree with you, but they listened. They still listened, though. They had the choice to not listen and just let it die, but they listened, and I will still give them props. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that they're the most generous devs, again, like what Fob is saying, that they're not the most generous, because they're not, but they still listened and eventually made a massive turnaround, and we will never see that in Genshin. I don't know why, but we will never fucking see it. And so, yeah, I 100% agree. If the game just had massive success from the launch, you know what? Again, I'm still going to give them a little bit of benefit of the doubt. HSR had massive success from launch, but they still made really great quality of life changes. So I don't know, but I get you. I'm agreeing with you. I'm not defending the $1 billion company. I'm not doing that cringe shit. But yeah, I get what you're saying for sure. It benefits them, sure, but it benefits us too. Yeah, I don't really think HSR is the devs listen company whatsoever. They just have better quality of life rewards against Genshin, hence why I pray so good. That is a fair point in Vongolia, for sure. Also, welcome in, brother. I've had a great day today, man. The real devs listen is ZZZ and Wuwa. But ZZZ listened, like they just said a moment ago, because the game was going to die in EOS. Wu was listening because Wu, I think, genuinely cares. I think genuinely cares about their players. That I won't make a statement saying like that. I know people will yell at me for that, but I believe Wing Waves cares about their players more than Hoyoverse games. But I don't think it's fair for us to not say HSR doesn't listen in certain capacities, especially at the beginning of the game. I think they purposely built good faith with their players due to the fact that they knew a lot of people were doubting it and the people were kind of iffy on it. So they wanted the game to do really well. So they built this good faith. And now that the game has become another juggernaut in the space, now they don't really care and they're just fucking doing whatever. So, yeah, or they feel so good when Israel came out to the community is ending, even though Genshin's doing, I agree with it, doing good dev. Because if they really do the skip button, would have existed long before. Yeah, I appreciate you thinking. I'm going to take a drink in a minute. Yo, 7 a.m. What's good, brother? Dab, man, what's going on? How are you? I think I pretty much just addressed what you said. I think you and me are in the same boat, but I don't think that we could still say positively that they did listen at the beginning, and I will give them credit for it, But of course, it was a business decision. It's not because they wanted to. It was a business decision, for sure. If I have 725, I've never pulled the weapon, 100%. Yeah, 725 sucks. Sure, yeah.
So, yeah.
So, like, I talk about this too. Like, there's the value of the Stellar Jade is lower than the value of the other gacha games currency.
He's 100%
because
correct.
It doesn't last as long.
100% correct.
So, like, if you buy a character, right, for, let's just say 10,000 Stellar Jades, that character lasts 6 months. Versus you buy a character in another gacha game and they last 2 years or some shit. So the value that you have has longer staying power.
For sure.
Yeah, like
he's
Ellen
cooking on
Joe
that
versus Miyabi is.
Oh, yeah. Like that shit sucks.
I will have you know, Ellen Joe still clear shield defense.
She's still clear. She's still clear. But bro, the amount
the
of
difference is night and day for
the
that.
amount of like work you have to do with an Ellen Joe team versus a Miyabi team is just like.
Bro, Miyabi's solo is like as strong as an Ellen Joe team. Like Miyabi solo can fight like everything by herself. It's insane. It's not even close.
ZZZ is going crazy with that power pick too.
Yeah,
I think Miyabi's a special case, though. I think they
that's
wanted 1.4.
Yeah,
I mean, Miyabi is a void hunter, so she's literally like at the tier of like a.
So she's Acheron? Oh wow, I've never seen that trick before.
The one thing I'd be concerned about is just like, why would I ever pull another DPS ever again, knowing that they're not a void hunter and they're just gonna get binned like Ellen Joe the second that the next Void Hunter comes
Because
out.
they'll add enemies that are anti-Miyabi or something, so then you need to pull them.
Yeah.
It's like I would never pull a DPS character or another character for 2 years until I get the arc.
I get what Sane is saying, though. His sentiment is not wrong. I mean, and Genazad is correct as well. Like, realistically, why would you pull for a rerun of, like, an old character or, again, a new DPS if you have Miyabi? But, again, because you enjoy playing the new character, oh, for sure, obviously, without a doubt. I guess from a high meta perspective, obviously the casual person is going to pull what they enjoy. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But like realistically, Miyabi does fucking kill the game. Well, not kill the game, but okay. And I defended this as well. Like they've said, I think Miyabi is a one-time thing. They wanted to give you a feel-good character to come back to the game and play with. Also, most of the content requires at least 1 to 2 other teams. So I do think you should be pulling more characters. But I understand that sentiment because a lot of people are going to feel that way. They're going to feel that way of, hey, listen, why would I play this? I think it inverts. I think the better you are at a game, the more you're allowed to just pull who you like playing. True, but there is also a genuine level of discrepancy of Miyabi and Ellen, right? Or Ellen's down here, Miyabi's here. So I don't disagree with you, but also like from a casual perspective, they're like, wow, look at this shiny toy. Actually, let me not say from a casual perspective. Scrap that. Like, I don't agree with that. From a meta perspective, look at this shiny toy that's extremely great and it can pretty much clear everything. Why the fuck can I pull up something else? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I get that. I think Genazad's right as well because look at Nuvalet and Genshin Impact. Nuvalet Farina exist, then they have the Hydro Telpa. So now you need to pull someone else. So it's still, the statement, I think, is wrong, but the idea behind it, I think, is what a lot of people think. And I think it's a very fair thing to say because a lot of people are going to feel this way. Why am I pulling for this character when Miyabi out DPSs all of them? But then the direct correlation of what any Gacha King company is going to do is, well, good luck using Miyabi against the Ice Resistant where you do no damage, right? The question is, will there be a new shiny toy DPS if their damage can't compare to Miyabi? I think it varies. Miyabi is just the starting point if they keep making Miyabi. Yeah, no doubt that's true. I just think enjoying a unit's gameplay should be part of the convo. 100% agree with you, without a doubt. 100% agree, without a doubt. I think they're just talking intrinsically in the spin of power creep at the moment. Wait, hold on. I want to break this down. The question is, will there be a new shiny toy DPS if their damage can't compare? I think they will they keep adding ice res mobs. I think we had a similar situation in Wu Vaughn. A lot of people didn't think Chengli was a good unit because of Jinxie. They didn't think Zhang Liao at first was really that great because of Jinxie as well, and a lot of people skipped Zhe for whatever reason, even though she was Jinxie's best in slot, but they thought Jinxie already did so much damage. I think people jumped the gun with that stuff, and I think they could easily make other DPSs either do less damage to them or still be on the similar level and not break the game. You want my honest opinion? Me personally, what I would like to see is other DPSs that come out that have some sort of mechanics that are not on the same level as Miyabi. Keep the Miyabi power level to those Acheron type characters, for sure. I think that would be the wave. Or in order for you to achieve Miyabi single target damage like that, you need to have certain type of elements or certain type of reaction against some sort of mechanic that's not just like the assault mechanic to do that big PP damage numbers. So I think, yeah, that's my take on that. Yeah, and Wuwa right now, any DPS? Oh, for sure. Hold on one second. In Wuwa, any DPS could work. But at the beginning, though, when Jinxie dropped, people thought Jian was obsolete, Havoc Rover was obsolete, Encore was obsolete. Like, they dropped everybody. Like, oh, well, it's not going to be the same, but you still needed other characters to clear the content, so people jumped the gun, you know? What makes Miyabi so great is her brute strength, is her flexibility with DPS, hypercarry, dual DPS disorder. She can run home. Yeah, 100% Spirit. She's like a Shanglang. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you 100%. I think you worded it perfectly. I hope they don't start adding special elements to other 5 stars, like Miyabi. I hope that's only a Void Hunter. Gigi mostly felt bad on first because the outro was worthless on release. What's up, Clarissa? Her outro wasn't 100% worthless because it's technically still the best in slot for Jinxie. Or let me rephrase that. My apologies. The outro resident skill wasn't as good as, let's say, Tauchi, but her coordinated no, she was her best in slot. No, I think that's a fair statement. Her coordinated attacks were there. She gave skill damage on her outro skill. People were upset you couldn't use the Glacio. Yeah, I'm just referring to Glacio half. Oh, for sure. You're not wrong. You're not wrong on that portion. But people, I feel like didn't really have a grasp, a really good understanding of the game. But yeah, you're 100% correct. It's the same thing with Cheng Li. Cheng Li's outro is not really used, so people are like, she's bad, but she's not bad. But I agree with you for sure. The reason I put Pajok on the movie is because he's how to get your stuff. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we can't have another Miyabi power to your character for another 6-7 months, or things are looking grim. Yeah, I agree. Also, it's good Electro. What up, brother? Dab me up and Clarissa. Hope you having a great day as well. Dab me up, Stinky. Let's continue. Let's see what's going. Let's keep it going.
Wow, I've never done that before.
Yep, that should have.
That's why I'm so happy with Wuwa and how like Carlotta is like pretty similar to like Jinshi and Camellia. Like,
same power levels.
I'm pissed. I wish she was better.
I think we kind of did power creep. We can go into the game skin. I kind of wanted to do my own video on this, so I don't know if I want to talk about this right now. I think I'll probably skip the game skins for a moment just because I really want to do my own video. But the TLDR is that the Jinsei skin's great. Skip game skins? Yeah, I think we're gonna skip it because of Miyabi. I decided to skip all banners. That's valid. F it, making the video live. Make the video live. Okay, maybe we'll do it after. I do have to react to a couple Pokey tweets that are really bothered me today because I was watching him this morning and I saw he was pretty upset. So we can't have to actually Carlotta Bell user yet. Her weapon is also. I can't. Yeah, no, Carlotta's crazy. The skin in Wu was so much more bang for the buck compared to the Genshin skins. Yeah, like we'll discuss that. If we don't make that video today, we'll make it tomorrow, whatever the case may be. Because I am a little low on time. So let's go to Wuwa is doing great. I think we know Wuwa's doing great.
Next point. So recently, a controversial post came out from.
Yeah, I think we know. I think we know Wuwa's doing good. Numero situation, racism. I don't need to hear Gacha content creators talk about racism in the real world because they started talking about racism. I'm good on that. Genshins Future. Let's look at this.
Well, that is more racist.
You know what?
There's definitely a lot of racism in Europe. I don't know what you're saying.
As much as I would love for a bunch of Gacha creators to weigh in on global politics and racism and figuring out how to solve racism.
Yeah, let's fuck it. We're going in.
That's true. This guy didn't even know where Italy was.
Yeah, true. Yeah, who cares? Let's be real. There's obviously a best race. It's not even fucking close. The best race is obviously the Daytona 500. We're going to go on to the next
your annual fuckateo, by the way. Let's keep pushing though.
Topic here. The next one is let's talk about. We're going to talk. This is two-parter. Part one: Genshin Impact's new predatory banner system. Mauvika and Sitlali on the same banner on the first half, where the rewards are on the second half of the banner cycle, as well as patch 5.4 having the least amount of primo gems that you can earn free to play out of any patch. Thoughts on what's going on in Genshin Impact's banner system? Does anybody think that it is good? Yes.
Hold
up,
Hold up.
Wait. Give me 1 second.
On the 5.
I want to preface this by saying again, I fucks with Sekapoko. I don't think he's a bad dude. I think he gets a bad rap. I really don't know why. I don't care if he likes Daya, but I saw part of this conversation live, and this shit kind of fucking hurt my brain. I'm not gonna lie to you.
0.4 thing first off. Every single patch, what the people do when they're creating the primo gem count is they show what is known, and it's always significantly lower than the actual.
Sure, yeah. As long as the significantly known is the lowest it's been.
So I think what they're referencing is that 5.4 might have 54 pulls. 54 pulls, if I remember correctly, something around that. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it is a very low amount for 5.4. He gets hate because he's terrible at articulating his takes and they come out awful. I actually think he's pretty well spoken personally. Again, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't agree with all of his Genshin takes, but I like him. I have no reason to, I like. Tectone and Sekapoko. Sekapoko told me how artifacts work. I watched his video. I read it was 54 pills. Yeah, 54 pills is pretty fucking abysmal. Tectone and Sekapoko were the two people I was told of that are weirdos in the community when I started making Gacha content. I don't know. The only thing I don't like about Seka is that he ships feels crafting as actual theory crafting, or at least he was when I found him. What does feels crafting mean, Clarissa? If you could expand, I actually don't know what that means. Not trying to be funny. I only cleared 12 because Sekapoko. Yeah, he's a cool dude. Those per patch pulls counts don't generally take resetting endgame or dailies into account either. So let's say if it's 54, let's jump it up to 60, right? Because Genshin Impact's not giving you a lot. What is it? 4 pulls for the Abyss and 4 pulls for Magic Theater. So I don't know, but I don't actually agree with Seka here. Most of the time I see pull count gets lower when live comes. Yeah, feels crafting is when you ignore spreadsheets, go by how it feels. Got you. I think feels crafting and theory crafting are both stupid in Genshin, to be honest with you. Is a reference to MTash, I think, not focused on raw numbers, but just how a character feels to play. Got you. He acts like his personal preferences are meta, not the numbers. Got you. Understood. You, how are you? Welcome in, Stinky. Welcome in. Have a great day today. Dap me up. I think feels crafting and theory crafting both themselves are pretty fucking stupid in Genshin. I'm going to just keep it a stack. We can get into that a different day. I think if you are sitting there, I will not shit on anyone for what they do and what they have enjoyment from, and I think there is some value. People like that stuff. Like, I will give you an example. I think TGS is really good at that stuff. I fuck with his content heavily. I don't think you need to theory craft for Genshin. I don't think you need to theory craft for Wuwa. I actually explicitly think theory crafting in Wuwa is so counterintuitive and so dumb because it's not direct and there's too many factors to count into. But Genshin, I can kind of see it. Wuwa theory crafting, I think, is the biggest fucking piece of shit in the world. It is what it is. So putting that to the side, I get it. Okay, so I see why people might not fuck with him. It's been all right. How about you? We're watching this thing right now. You hope you have a great fucking day today. Isn't theory crafting love and story related? I don't like theory crafting in Wuwa. That's a whole different rant. Wuwa needs more of how rotation and theory crafting works. One of the main things that I didn't like is how people in CN community specifically said to skip Yinlin due to the fact that Sanhua is only about a 12 to 15k damage difference with Calchero as opposed to Yinlin, which is just not factually accurate. I mean, maybe it's factually accurate. Let me rephrase that. But in practicality, normal people are not getting off 3 death messengers. And again, Sanhua fucking Yinlin is better for Calchero. It's like it's just the truth. So whatever it is, with Theorycraft's just min-maxing. Yeah, and most normal people don't min-max. But yeah, let's keep pushing.
So it could be different. But
murder, I don't think of that as theory crafting. I think of theory crafting as when people are sitting there and telling people, hey, objectively Sanhua's better than Yinlin, so don't roll for Yinlin. And then after that, in practice, Yinlin does better 10 times out of 10 because of the fact that the rotations are too clunky to do. That's what I think. So yeah, that's my opinion on it. Let's continue.
Let's focus on the banners. Yeah, what's up?
I gotta go.
Okay, bye, Fob.
What's up, Fob? Love you, Fob.
I'll tell you if we solve racism.
True.
All right, cool. Well, now everything's all fucked up. God fucking damn it. I'll put the chat over here. All right, cool. Great. So, anybody have any positive thoughts on the new change for Genshin Impact's new system for 2 characters, same banner, rewards on second half?
Positive thoughts?
Yep.
Okay, so someone who has played Genshin for the entire time, it's the same as it always has been. So the reward system is exactly the same as it's been since the launch of the game. Is it more predatory now because there is 2 characters in the first half? Abso-fucking-lutely. If you wanted to save for a long time, should you have? Yes. If you wanted to get both characters right out the gate, is it possible if you just joined the game? Yes. Is it possible for a returning player to get all this stuff?
Saying that it's possible for a person to get both characters off the rip out the game, yeah, if they played the game every single day for 8 hours, they will get enough primo gems to get both characters, maybe. If they play the game every single day for 8 hours for 21 days, I think that is one of the things I didn't like about the take, because yes, if you just started Genshin Impact today, also started Genshin Impact recently, right? If I just started playing the video game, and first of all, if I knew how the proper traditional banner systems worked, I made sure I didn't roll on the wrong banner. In theory, can you get it? Yes. Out of 60 million players, maybe, I'm making up a number, maybe 1 million of them are brand new today. I think maybe 50 are doing that. The only benefit I see to Mauvika still all the banners, the weapon banner, losing 50 a banner and getting R1 single fate path. I think both are still pretty shit. I think this whole banner cycle is trash, and I don't know how someone defends it. I'm not saying in particular Sek is defending it, but I think it's fucking insane how people defend this shit. I think it's horrible. It's predatory as fuck. The Genshin Impact sets the standard for the industry. If this fucking banner makes a fuck ton of money, this will be the new norm. Not only that, but if you were getting both banners, you can't do weekly bosses. You can only do weekly bosses a certain amount of time. Not only that, but the talents are still locked to days of the week. You don't have enough resin, and even if you did have enough resin, you don't have the option to build them because it's fucking stupid. So I just think it's fucking insane. You know what I'm saying? What is it? Absolutely not. Meta 9% no. Feels crafting. Wait, hold on. A brand new player just doesn't need both characters. If you just put Mauvika, you'd get a completely usable team from other characters alone as well. That as well. I think the argument there are those of us who don't have save all and let RNGs take the wheel and do single pose. Exactly. I'm new to Genshin since WoW. Playing my first Gacha. My friends recommend Genshin. I can't imagine maybe getting enough Primo Gems. Yeah, it would take too much effort for me to care, and that's the thing. Using the argument that, yes, could you do it? Sure. How much time, effort, you probably don't have a full-time job or a job if you were getting both Sitlali and Mauvika with RNGesus at the wheel. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it's nice to have a situation. Oh, no, for sure. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying without a doubt. That is a positive, and I'm not saying you are wrong or stupid or dumb. Please, Clarissa, please don't take that. That's not to you, but I've seen people say that this is a positive because of the fact that they wanted both characters, which is fucking insane to me. But yes, if you lost a 50-50 and you got one of those weapons, that would be sick. I mean, getting both of them, but also it's like it's still fucked up. Like it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? What if you lost a 50-50, got Mauvika's weapon? You're not going for Mauvika, you're going for Sitlali, and you've got a Primo Gems. It's still a fuck situation. They know the old customer base has so much time left. Oh, no, I agree with all the negative stuff. I'm just pointing out the one positive. Yeah, but it's pretty insane. So this take I just don't agree with.
Yes. Is it good for people that don't want to play or didn't want to save, want to get all the characters? No. So
wait, why are you saying it's possible for players to get both characters?
It's definitely possible depending on your start point.
Just one pull on each.
Yeah, just roll better.
So the majority of things if you start the game, in 5.0, the amount of Primo Gems that are possible to gain is like ridiculous.
Right, but for current players.
If you started fresh, the amount you can get is ridiculous. Like the amount of content and stuff to do to get Primo Gems is just ridiculously large.
Sure, I think we're missing the point here. This is the thing that kind of
imagine long-term players for 5 years. Any person that's been playing for 4 years was under the impression to save for the Archon, so it's not like a new set of information, right?
One thing I feel like they didn't bring up, maybe I'm wrong. You need Night Soul with Mauvika. I don't know to the extent of how much Night Soul you need with Mauvika, but if you don't, they've skipped so many people who saving for the Archon, and now the Archon needs pretty much Shalonen as their best in slot, and then Sitlali is their other best in slot, so you feel like a fucking idiot because you save for the Archon, right? You know what I'm saying? You don't need it. It just helps. You don't need it. Okay. Maybe that's the case. Maybe you don't need Shalonen. Normal attacks also fill her gauge. Do we know the time? Do we know how this... Hold on a second. Actually, Brett, I'm logging to your account. You're pretty much 2 or the rotation is whacked. You pretty much 2 or the rotation is whacked and feels slow and clunky. Let's go 50-50 on GG banner, but now they got Carlotta yesterday. Yes, I have to get GG and Carlotta's weapon. Well, you don't need GG. She does function without GG. You can use Yang Yang. I never play her without Shalonen. Yeah, what's going on, Noel? Welcome in. Yeah, you probably don't need Shalonen, but the fact of the matter is that using Shalonen and making her burst uptime so much higher and just everything so much better. Hold on, Brett, are you here? Let's test this. Are you on Genshin? I want to log into your account real quick. You don't need Gigi. No, you don't need Gigi. Use Gigi's crazy. You could use Yang Yang instead if you wanted to. I know Mauvika, but also those units are damage play so drastically. Let's see. Okay. We're gonna do this live in real time. I want to know. I don't want to take anyone's word for it. I asked Jason the other day. I said, "Hey Jay, how is Mauvika without Night Soul points regeneration, or how is it without Shalonen?" He's like, "Well, you'd probably need Clorinda, someone who has really good normal attacks." So to me, that is a negative. That is a negative response, right? But again, so let's just see. Let's fucking see what happens, right? We're going to go Shalonen. Also, by the way, when you only have half her burst, I know that it fucks up her rotation. I know that you need her full burst to get her massive rotations done right properly. But again, let's see what happens. So we're going to log in. This man has a Welkin fucking whale. It is what it is. All right, dope. Cool. There's pretty much no stamina here. So let's use Shalonen first. Let's use Shalonen first. Yeah. Let's fight the bird. I don't fuck with this bird. Let's fight the bird. Yup. Yep. Okay. Yo, what's good, Shah? How you feeling, brother? Welcome in, man. I hope you have a great day today. Damn me up. How we feeling? Okay, cool. So Mauvika is at like 2%, like 2% of her burst, right? We're gonna use Shalonen to get the burst right now, and we'll see what happens. Okay. All right, dope. Instantaneously gets the burst. So 2 E's and a couple normal attacks, burst is up. Dope, love it. All right. Now let's change it. Now, so you see, off rip, if you want to use her burst, Shalonen's the best in slot. I feel like that is a very safe thing. Shalonen generates 90 Nitso points per E, and she needs 100 to get the minimum, and then 200 for the max, right? If you skipped all Natlan characters, say from Mauvika, you should have both characters secured. You had 4 months since 5.0 live streaming. Not a good current events. New patch just started. Sass, we'll get to that in a moment. But okay, so now, let's get her burst up with no Nitso points, right? Dope, okay. I mean, guys, if you're telling me that's not longer, that's crazy. If you're telling me that this mechanic is okay, yeah, I could use Kachina. We'll use Kachina in a moment. I died. Dope. Guys, I feel like people miss the point about this criticism. This should not exist, and it should not exist for an Archon. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Why is this existing for an Archon? I'll throw Kachina. Nobody wants to fucking use Kachina. They'll make the argument you could have Cinder City, whatever the fuck that bullshit artifact set is on her. Okay, let's just throw Kachina in there to say fuck it, right? All right, dope. We got Kachina there. Bet. Yeah, it's just bad character design. And like you will play how you dying in a baby game, brother. Dying because there's no dodge. I can't dodge, right? All right, so her burst, 0. Nothing, right? Nothing on her burst. Let's run this. Okay, that was 2 strikes. Look at what her burst was. I don't understand. What was I supposed to do with Kachina? We did her skill, and nothing happened. I feel like this is the other side of the power grid argument. If every team could slap Mauvika and want to get 1 million damage, it's like people would just throw in a shit fit. I disagree with the 100% MC. What about Farina? No one's throwing a shit fit about Farina. What is positive about locking someone's energy regeneration behind Nitso points? Pyro Traveler is fucking horrendous. Bro, just parry, I know. You should not need the character's buff, not activate your skill. Yeah, it's insane. You should use other characters to buff, not to activate skill. Fob was talking about me, 100% talking about me. I hate that she's mandatory for every team. People hate the Bennett Farina team comp. Sure. What would you prefer? A character that's extremely universal and can be used in any team composition where they're technically not needed in every team comp, but can be used in every team composition, or a character that really needs or prefers Nitso points to get a decent amount of energy? I think one that's completely universal, 100%, I prefer, but that's power creep. I don't think that's power creep. I don't think that's power creep at all. I actually think that's not power creep. It's not. I don't agree with you. I think power creep is making Arlecchino do more damage than Hu Tao. I think power creep is making Nuvla do more damage than Ayato. Locking characters behind region stuff is not power creep. Yeah, the whole area exclusive buff, this is quite frustrating. Yeah, it is frustrating. So they implement HSR logic. You need to have combo characters to make your character feel complete. Yeah, pretty much. So, again, I don't know why nobody's talking about no power. It's racist. What are you talking about, Oreo? Oreo's going off the deep. I don't know what Oreo's yapping about. I'm gonna delete that message. I don't know what Blood's talking about. But yeah, so okay, we're gonna keep it pushing. I don't know why nobody mentioned this. I think maybe like I don't know. Fob left, so Fob was only like real character person. Doesn't count as power creep because Ling Yang was never meta. Carlotta isn't power creep because Carlotta's on the same level as Jinxie and Camilla. So, you know, yeah. If you lock her energy regions, yeah, I think you're using the word out of context, but okay. Just jelly the orange stuff. I don't know what's happening, but okay, let's continue.
Sure, but
well,
I mean, I think you
like,
would argue that they would not be over-saving for Sitlali as well. Her number one.
Like everybody would have expected Mauvika first, right? They would have had.
Again, also, this whole argument that, people were saving since 5.0, they should have known to save for the Archon is fucking bullshit. That is a small percentile of people playing Genshin Impact. There's no proof or data to go behind this. Therefore, this argument just... It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It's not a real argument. It's not.
And then Sitlali second, right?
I don't know if that is true off.
The next limited character becoming the next.
If you do the math,
why does people think one unit base kit performance hindered because you don't have the other characters? Go to Wild Tenshi. Wait, why does people think that one base kit performance hindered because you don't have other characters? The whole problem is that Shalonen gets your burst in pretty much 2 seconds, and the normal attacks probably takes about 5 to 6 seconds, and then her best in-slot support being Sitlali is on the same banner as her, and Natlan as a whole is region locking all their quality of lives, also due to the fact that, again, Mauvika's traversal is pretty fucking dog shit as well, and it's 3 characters pretty much combined into one. The whole premise of the argument is Natlan is predatory as fuck. It doesn't make sense, and I think if you're defending it, I think it's a little silly. I think it's pretty fair to say making characters only let me rephrase because someone's going to nitpick the words, primarily synergize with other paid characters from the region, and an Archon who's supposed to be a universal unit like Raiden, like Nahida, like Farina, like Zhongli, and then they're saying, oh, Mauvika, oh, well, you could use it with your Mualani team. Fucking have fun riding around on your skateboard with Mualani, guys. It's fucking insane. Use your Shanglang. I don't know how this is not like a clear cut and dry thing. Region locking character and character kits is not bad. Is not good. I don't think getting her burst in 2 seconds versus 5 seconds matters when the rest of your team still needs field time in their burst anyways. Hey man, we could agree to disagree, but getting her burst in 5 seconds is only half of it. So if she's a main DPS and she doesn't have her full stack, that fucks up the rotation. Again, we could agree to disagree, but I think it boils down to the fact that right now we're talking about, in this particular video, hey, listen, you should have saved, you should have known the Archon's coming is fucking stupid. And as a whole, locking all these things to a region is fucking stupid. I don't know what other way to say that. 100% Clarissa. Little do we know that we have the true Archon and Venti. Like I feel like if me explaining it to you doesn't it's not clicking in your mind, it is what it is. You're entitled to your opinion, but it's crazy to think that this is okay, right? And again, you should have bought the toilet paper before COVID. You should have known it was coming. Exactly. So they changed what an Archon in terms of gameplay to sell to other characters? I think so. I think 100%. And again, the fact of the matter is, you're a bit time wrong. Also, by needing that extra amount of time, you fuck up the buff rotations. Also, leave yourself a little bit attack and die. Exactly, I agree, Oreo. If they do rerun just because of the pattern they shown. Also, again, as I've said before, Hoyoverse is the juggernaut of the space. If this banner does well, this could potentially be the norm for HSR, for ZZ, for Genshin Impact, and for any other upcoming gacha games. I don't know how this is a hard, take to decipher. It's very simple. Don't defend this. Stop defending this. I don't give a fuck if a person logged in tomorrow, started the game and grinded for 100 hours, they might be able to get Sitlali and Mauvika. I'm very happy for you. That is not realistic expectations. Telling the players, oh haha, you should have waited for Mauvika, and now, well, hopefully you have enough Primo Gems to pull Mauvika and Sitlali is fucking stupid. That the basis of the argument is flawed due to the fact that you should not have to make this, nothing should be region locked, and the fact of the matter is this is not a job. I shouldn't have to plan out and map out everything. Nobody's saying I want everything. In a gacha game, if you want everything, that is wrong. But from a business standpoint, this creates more FOMO from the holidays. January 1st, they want kids to spend money. I think it is very simple. I think it is just very simple. Nation of War. A war is one by individual with the synergy of the parts of the whole. Looked at as an allegory of Nation of the War. Bishop, the Nation of War doesn't mean shit, so I think it's fucking stupid. We can just agree to disagree. Yeah, exactly. You could also agree to disagree. There's no reason to be mean to anyone, you know? There's no reason to be mean to anyone at all. We're all just having a conversation. So what's up? How are you, Tay? Can we get a fast shout out for Tay? How you doing, Stinky? Welcome in. Have a great day today. Welcome in. How are you? It's not on Hoyo if the other companies decide to copy their business model. Ravel, I genuinely... it's not a real argument. It's also hard for people to relate because a lot of people do go for Archon. I think it's fair to say. Wait, what's fair to say? What part? But how are you? Stinky, have a great day today. Ever go follow Tay if you don't beat the fuck shit out of you. It's not on Hoyo if other companies decide to copy their business model. I disagree with this. I genuinely disagree with this. Hoyoverse is setting the standard. Hoyoverse is the most lucrative company in the gacha space, right? So if they are setting the standard by doing things, I mean, look at Woo Woo. Woo was a copy of Genshin Impact. Why did they make Withering Waves? Because they thought, okay, we could take this and make our own twist on it. Jarvis twist his balls and make money, right? I think to say that Hoyoverse doesn't have this mass, it's like any business. It is like any business in any industry. If one business that is a massive, massive monopoly or conglomerate in the space does something that is so successful and it's predatory, people are going to look at that and be like, holy fuck, we could take that and we could twist a little bit and we could make it our own, or we could just copy it. That is just the basis of how it works. Hold on. All right, my bad. Oh, gotcha. Don't play gotcha gaming. Exactly. Bro, other countries copies American economy because we set the standard. Yeah, I think like again, you're 100% entitled to your opinion. I don't give a fuck. Please, nobody take me that I'm attacking your opinion because again, I don't give a fuck. Like if you feel some type of way and disagree with me, that's fine. This is not supposed to be an echo chamber. This is supposed to be an open discussion, and we're discussing this. But I think it is very fair to say that don't play gotcha games are very project. Exactly. Yeah, right, like America set an example and others followed and people think this company won't. Yeah. I'm not defending the banners at all. I had Genshins on forward too. Yeah, exactly. So look at how people copy WoW during MMO days. It's just how business work. It is just the norm in business. It is how the world works. Guys, also please make sure to be respectful to everyone while we're having this conversation. It's not that deep. We're talking about fucking silly gacha games that you steal money from. That they steal money from you. But anyways, yeah. So I don't know, the take of just log in and play the game or just save is so stupid. I think it's so dumb. But yeah, whatever. Let's continue.
On exactly what the difference in Primo Gems would be for the amount of summons, you lose out on like 30 or 40 summons, or 50, at most 45, I think it was, right? So that's not enough to fill out a whole rotation for the second half banner to get a character fully free to play.
I also think Sekapoko is coming from a very logical perspective of someone who plays the game all the time and is trying to min-max the shit out of this. But unfortunately, the way things work is that 60 million people are not min-maxing. 59 million people are not min-maxing their video game. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't agree with this. Again, no, either we disagree, so we're mortal enemies for life. Exactly. I'm just saying, don't blame Hoyo for other companies copying their blame. It's just like getting mad at Apple for moving the headphone jack. Ravel, I think you're 100% misinterpreting what I'm saying. I am saying, first of all, so your statement is, don't blame Hoyo for other companies copying them. Who else would they copy? It could be anyone. It doesn't have to be Hoyo. It could be Koro Games. If Hoyoverse introduces a very, 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 very predatory style of banner systems and a very predatory style of distribution of these banner cycles and their rewards, and it makes them the most money they've ever made, and then they do it again and they do it again and they keep doing it and they're making hand over fist, it is just nature. People will copy it because it is a successful business model. I think right now you're kind of personalizing it. I don't give a fuck if it's Hoyo. It could be Koro. It could be my mom. It could be any business owner. It doesn't matter, right? But someone said about the headphone jack. Where is this? Just people getting mad at Apple for moving headphone jacks. It's a standard now, right? It's a standard. It defining an industry is a standard. You could blame someone or whatever. I mean, people could do whatever. I don't give a fuck. But like, who started that? Who started that? Apple. It's successful. People do it. You know what I'm saying? Also, the headphone jack is a little bit different. It's a little bit different, but whatever. We could use that analogy. I don't think it's the greatest analogy to use, but yeah, it's like I think we're personalizing this way too much. You can 1000% blame Hoyoverse for strategically putting 2 new 5 stars that synergize perfectly with each other right on January 1st, after kids get Christmas money. When this is a kids game, 60 million plus people are going to want to spend money on it. With Seka Poco, I understand your point, don't get me wrong. Yeah, and that's fine. But, and then Seka Poco is saying, you should have saved because you knew an Archon was coming, or if a new player starts today, they could potentially get both. I think that's a very out of touch statement. Also, Panda, what's going on, brother? Welcome in, man. I think it's very out of touch. Nobody's playing the game the way Seka Poco is playing the game. A very small majority of people are playing the game the way Seka plays it, the way Zajev plays it, the way J Stern plays it. People don't do that. That is not normal. So when we take applied logic to how a professional, we'll use the word professional, or a tryhard, min-maxing person use and views the game, and apply it to the mass generalization of 59 million other people, it doesn't work. So I think this whole thing is just fucking silly. I think it is very silly. It's very, 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 very silly. So yeah. Like Hoya didn't create everything.
Wait,
so I understand the point that
are you trying to imply, because I just want to make sure before I go in, are you trying to imply that this mechanism does not change?
He's not saying it's good.
No.
Okay, so what exactly are you saying?
I was clarifying.
As a new version player in 4.0, it took me three versions to get my first limited 5-star, because you played it like a normal person, because you played the video game at a normal pace like a normal human being. I myself am an Omega super sweat tryhard. So someone that he would be referring to is me. If I loved the game enough and I fucked with it so heavily, I will grind it to get everything I want so I don't have to spend money, or I'll just swipe because I want to swipe because I don't want to waste my time. It can go either way. I get his perspective because those people exist. I am those people. It's me. I am that person, but I am not normal. I have mental illness, right? So, yeah. I have mental illness.
Exactly what is happening.
Okay. So the pros of it, because it sounds to me like you're saying it's not a big deal.
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I said it's very. The first thing I said was it's extremely predatory. To
put sure, Clarissa, without doubt,
right away. It was the first thing I said. Okay.
They're always FOMO, but there's a way to limit the FOMO, and WoW was a great example of that. Although they still have FOMO as well.
The second thing I said was the amount of people that are going to have a problem with this are going to be people that didn't plan for it usually, right?
Which so
if you summoned for Nebula in the previous patch, you're like, fuck me, I'm gonna get 2 characters now. Oh shit.
Yeah.
So now you're like, you're up shit creek, right? So that's the type of person that is screwed right now, right? The type of person that has been playing for 3 years, 2 years, 4 years, they're looking at the Archon going, okay, when's the Archon? Okay, I gotta save for the Archon. Okay, when's the Archon? Gotta save for the Archon. And there's a whole extra patch to save the Archon, because usually it drops in 4.2, or 0.2 patch, not 0.3 patch. So if they
let's go
the whole time and they skipped all the Natlan characters.
I don't know, but I like the Kermit voice. I like it.
Seka, I don't have any Natlan characters. Is Mauvika good? Constant phrase I hear every single day. Multiple
okay, the thing is, it seems a little unfair that people should have to know to save for the thing. And the reason I say this is because like 90 to 95% minimum of players, they don't go on YouTube, Reddit, Twitch, anything. So they are clueless about guides. They don't look up anything. They just play the game.
So the average
they're just all fucked.
The average metric for people who play a game and consume a content for that game is 8% of the total player base. So the 95 is pretty fair.
Yeah. So basically those people I know wisdom exactly without a paddle for the most part. I mean,
sure.
I would say overall, I don't really care either way because it's Gacha. I don't really involve it, but I'm just saying, realistically, I think it's kind of unfair to a lot of people, probably.
So the reason why I think they should have
done
what Genshin does is because people use that game as a blueprint, and if that proves successful, which by the way it did,
holy fuck,
that's gonna go to the other games like ZZZ.
Guys, please, I feel like I'm about to... Do I have to go bald for someone to listen to me? Bro, this man is fucking spin. Bro, I said this 3 days ago. I said it today. And like...
50 system.
Yes.
You know?
Right.
Okay, so what they should have done.
Look at me right there, because this is the part I tuned into. I literally said, I said this. Yes, this is literally what I said.
And this would have made the entire thing perfectly acceptable. Is what they did in Zenless Zone Zero was had it the entire patch.
Of course, he's 100% right on this.
For sure.
Perfectly acceptable strategy.
Yep.
If they had done that,
it'd been okay.
No one would have any problem with it whatsoever.
Yep. 100%. Without a doubt. But they didn't do that.
The fact that they didn't do it, but released both of them, and then also did it the opposite in another game, is what the problem is.
1000%.
Why did you do it in Zenless Zone Zero, but you can't do it in Genshin? This is bullshit and massively predatory, and we don't like it.
Well, it's kind of obvious why, right?
For money, obviously. It's a rhetorical question.
Because, it's like, Genshin's the cash cow. They do whatever they want, and everyone just suck it up. But like ZZZ, it's like they have to try because everyone quit the game.
And here's the other big thing that people are forgetting about: this banner for Genshin Impact. This is like the last big banner for like a long time.
Yep.
Like there is nothing coming out of this scale for the foreseeable future. There's also rumors about Snezhnaya being pushed back by a year, obviously unconfirmed. But other than this.
Well, it's kind of confirmed by the devs. They said they're in the live stream. They talked about Not Cry. So
no, since Mauvika is based around Night Soul and having better, do you think it's better that they release 6+ Night Soul characters first, or would you rather Mauvika 5.0 than Natlan? I wasn't there for the other days, but I know you said it. I appreciate you. Since Mauvika is based around Night Soul, do you think it's better they release 6+ Night Soul characters first, or would you rather Mauvika 5.0? I'm going to give you a cop-out answer, and then I'll give you an answer to what you said. I think the cop-out answer is they shouldn't be resolved around Night Souls at all. I think it's fucking stupid. I think it's dumb. I think they should never resolve around Night Soul, and I think it should have just been a normal energy regen. This is a ploy to sell characters and to specifically sell Shalonen back on a rerun. Now, going with this, though, I think it would have been better to at least been open about the mechanics, or I think it would have been better to put Shalonen after Mauvika. I think put Sitlali in 5.4, put Shalonen in the second half of 5.3. You have the two people that synergize perfectly together, and that way you have Mauvika in the first half, and you could see if you like the way she functions. And then after that, if you do like the way she functions without it, leave it alone, especially if you're using a sub DPS. If you don't, Shalonen is right there in the second half. But the reason why they put Shalonen first is because Shalonen ran up walls and they wanted to sell that. And then now Mauvika runs up walls faster for a short duration of time. Raveled, I don't agree with the Kachina shit. Nobody wants to run Kachina with Cinder. She's a Geo character. Nobody wants to run that. And if they're forcing you, and that's the problem with, I think, this conversation. Please don't take this personal, because this is not personal to you at all. But I think this is the problem when people justify it. And maybe you're not justifying, I don't know. But when I read this guy's Kachina is free, there's your Night Soul, that is just an excuse to say, I guess it doesn't matter because they gave you one character for free. It 1000% matters. I'm not saying it's good, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it's a free option if people want it. It is a really shitty option if people want it. It's a really shitty fucking option. And to them, yeah, I just want to make sure, because sometimes chatters get really upset. It's nothing personal, exactly, except go fuck yourself, IRL. What? Oh my god, in game. Oh my god. No, but I think when people say that, because people use that as a legitimate argument and saying, well, you have her for free, so it doesn't matter. 1000% it does matter. Nobody wants to fucking use Kachina with that shitty artifact set. I mean, it's a very good artifact set. Let me rephrase that. But nobody wants to use that. That's the problem. Why am I forced to use this? It's just fucking stupid. Where do I get this putting for actual good traversal? Yeah, that too. They put Shalonen first because of Wuwa doing so well. No, I think they just put Shalonen first because they wanted to sell all the characters with the similar mechanics and then be like, oh, look, by the way, Mauvika could do all of this. So you don't feel like you missed out on those traversal mechanics, but you missed out on the actual gameplay. So it's counterintuitive. And again, you'll have a theory crafter, maybe even someone like Seko or J-Star, and someone will say, well, you don't need her. Okay, listen, you might say you don't need her. That's fine. I don't want to play this character in a suboptimal way when they already feel like fucking shit, because the motorcycle feels like fucking shit. I'd rather just run my Arlecchino, even if it does 500,000 less damage. These are as much because I'm using Lisa as my fourth in Nouvelle. I don't mind suboptimal personal, and that's fine. I think that's fine. I think the problem is Because there's no issue with you running, let's say, Lisa as your fourth with New Valette. That's not the problem. Having suboptimal units or someone personally saying, I would rather use this than spend money is not the issue. The problem is when people take that logic and then use it to defend the predatory practices. Like people were complaining about a Jinsei skin costing $20, but to get a guaranteed Mauvika is $360, and then to get the guaranteed weapon would cost maximum to $700, despite Seka saying if you had 300 primos going into it. So maybe it won't cost me $700, it would cost me $650. You get what I'm saying? That's the problem. If someone likes that, cool, man. I'm not going to sit there and say you're the devil for enjoying a suboptimal thing. But I'm saying it should not be all locked behind paywalls, and especially at the same time, you know? Yeah, I know you're not defending it. I got you, brother. Mods, Jarvis, timeout Ravel forever. No, I'm kidding. It's the exact thing when rerunning Jing Liu and then power creeping. They just have to squeeze every penny. Exactly, yeah. Exactly. So that's the thing. But I think we're getting to the point that I really blew my mind. So let's hear it. No, don't time out Ravel. Don't time out Ravel. Okay.
Yeah, people were saying Skirk, but I'm gonna keep it a buck, guys.
What is
Skirk looks like ass.
I don't really care for Skirk.
Bro, no.
I was hyped at first, but
I don't give a fuck. Okay, no. I'm gonna go in on Skirk then real quick. Skirk looks.
Don't care about Skirk. Skip this.
Why do people care about Skirk? I don't understand.
It's lore reasons. Nobody cares. Lore sucks. Just without those units, units at your investment level, but just because you can clear the abyss without those units at your investment level doesn't mean that someone else wants to invest so much money to run and have fun with their gameplay with the hiccups. Exactly. Yeah. Skirk does not look like Ash Brothers Japan. I think Skirk looks good in Genshin Impact terms. I think as a Hoyoverse character, it's pretty mid.
Bro, I'd say name Barisa.
Pretty mid. Lore. Try to drop money on
probably just like kind of cute, but like whatever. Like the thing is, the theory around this, because they're putting like a second base banner character, is to sell Honkai Star Rail 3.0 so that everybody gravitates over there and then go to Zenless Zone Zero afterward, then come back to Genshin in 5.
What up, Lynn? Can we get a shout out for Lynn? How are you, Stinky?
Hey, chat, this is the person saying L-Tech, by the way.
Hope you had a great day today. Welcome in.
I wonder whose chat they're on. Yo, whose chatter is Kelly Scarlett? I want everybody to check. Who's Kelly Scarlett's chatter? Who is this?
I don't.
Hope you have a great Sunday, Stink. By the way, Skirk's concept looks far. Oh, concept looked crazy. Skirk was Child's Mentor in the Abyss now. Yeah. No, the character of Skirk, the lore is interesting. But I feel like they're not going to be no element, and they're probably just going to be like another Euless. I kind of don't care personally. But hey, man, if someone cares, I think that's awesome. You know, thank you for the shout out. Of course, we're chilling. Character design. Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, you are correct. It is the last
Clarissa.
banner for a while.
Yep.
For two big ass characters, right?
Yep.
The thing is, there is other characters that are teased that are very, very hyped up for the story.
Okay. Gotcha.
So it's not fully true. It's just.
Did they cut out them arguing about the polls?
Let me change this to the level of complete objectiveness. There is no character on the level of an Archon for the foreseeable future.
I agree, Ziggy, without a doubt, 100%.
Sure.
You mean 6 months or what? What's future?
Like a year.
Oh no, like the 6 months.
Is there another character coming out on the same
Dane's
level of an Archon?
Lore-wise, Skirk powerful as shit.
Oh god, there's just no way. That character is so fucking stupid. All right, we'll see by the banner sales, Betty. Yeah, when it got like, okay, I want to talk about something very controversial content. So I feel like
his viewer polls. Gateo's dumb. We know that.
That shit up. Let's move on to the last thing, which I'm glad you're here, Second Pogo. Your thoughts on 5.3 Genshin Impact? Do you think it's in a good space right now?
After this, I got one more tweet to go through, and then I'm going to probably rate into same.
Xbox just had the release at the same time, right?
The TLDR on the viewer polls is that he feels like it's predatory because if you are doing viewer polls, sometimes viewers will just spend an absurd amount of money to be on your stream, which is not necessarily wrong. They kind of just want to get spotlighted. But then the counter argument is that there's just some people who are whales and who just like watching people do like people doing polls, right? So I think it's a fair thing. I personally don't really do viewer polls a lot unless like I know someone is like really wanting me to do it and they've spent money already. But like yeah, I personally just don't like doing viewer polls because it takes up too much time. And then this homegirl, I don't remember her name, I apologize. She made a very valid point. It's like viewer polls. I don't like having to rely on someone else for my content. I'd rather just make my own content, and then if we wind up doing a viewer poll, it'd be cool. So I think that's pretty much I think that's like a really fair statement to say, and also how I genuinely feel. I don't want to rely on someone else for me to do viewer polls. I don't like that. So yeah. Yeah. Dang, early stream. What up? What up, Dams? How are you, Stinky? Viewer polls are also for more gambling. Yeah, I think viewer polls are really bad to watch for free to play. Yeah, like it's a very fair point. I'm actually surprised nobody's brought it up previously, but it was just a normal conversation, nothing crazy. I think right now is when we get to the nuclear cinema. Yeah.
So right now, my stream is being flooded with a bunch of new players that have never played Genshin before, and they're playing on Xbox. So
sorry.
Like, there's a whole platform of people coming in.
No, but I'm not worried about who's playing it.
Okay, so
I'm
I'm responding.
the game
It's
is
a
good?
longer thing. Right now,
Yeah.
I'm having a lot of fun with Mauvika and Sitlali, and the characters are really fun to test out and play, and they have like a lot of nuance in them.
Okay, so
Like, you can do some cool like instant nuke stuff. You can do like fun things, but
I always say that new characters aren't content,
I agree.
right? Because that's just
new
not,
characters aren't content.
No, I would say new character patches just don't fucking matter. You can be excited for them, but the majority of players just aren't going to get them. So outside of the characters, how's the story? How's the gameplay? How's the exploration? How's the future of Natlan looking?
Okay, so 5.0, 5.1 were the initial parts of the Archon Quest. 5.2 is a filler patch. 5.3 was the finale, like 4.
Yes, man, Oreo saying I'm famous enough to do my own polls. True and real, true and real.
Fontaine, to give clarification.
All right, so let me
5.3 Archon Quest was
One second.
really, really good.
have to address the chat. They pissed me the fuck off.
Sure.
Chat, you have to understand, you can be excited for the new characters. You can. The thing is, you got to understand the max price to guarantee one copy of one.
Guys, here's where it is. Here's the shit that had me weak yesterday. I'm not going to lie to you. Here it is. Here we go.
Character is $300.
Here we go.
Not every person is going to be able to go every patch and assure they have $300 worth of currency or money to pull a character, which is why I think it's a very bad idea to say, oh yeah, the new patch is great because I got the new character. Not everybody's going to get the new character. Not everybody can get the new character, which is why I'm saying it's more important to focus on what you can do.
I agree, Clarissa, 100%, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Go ahead, take a
I'm going to leave that on the side because I don't agree with that take, but like.
Okay, talk about it.
Going into this, what Seka Poco is saying is not necessarily wrong. I want to be fair. What Seka is saying is that most players, which again, there's no genuine proof of this. We have no way to validate this. But he is saying a lot of players, at least my interpretation, I don't know, maybe I'm interpreting it wrong. He is saying if you were going into the next patch with 7,000 Primo Gems, you do not need to spend $360 to get the new character. You could potentially spend a lot less, which is not wrong. He's not wrong in that sentiment. But Tectone is saying the bare maximum is $325 to spend. So they're both not wrong, but I think Seka is really trying to drive home the point that people save Primos or they go into big patches with a bunch of Primos, and I don't necessarily think that is 100% true or even provable. So yeah.
To the initial 5.3 stuff.
Wait, talk about that. If you disagree.
So yeah.
So in any gacha game, you get a specific amount of free currency. So the maximum price is not true to be that much. It would be a much lower amount because you still get the free currency.
Also, keeping in mind, maybe they should meet in the middle. Well, here's the thing. The problem with this take is that a lot of the maximum currency is still tied through a whole patch, and you cannot get the maximum amount of free currency. Let's use this current banner for an exact example. The events, I cannot get the Primo Gem events for the second half, for the first banner half characters, and I'm not getting those free 20 pulls for those first banner half characters. So although they give you a certain amount of maximum currency, even in Wing Waves, I think in total it's going to be like fucking 23,000 Asterite, but 23,000 Asterite is not allocated within the first part of the patch. There are still parts of that asteroid that is locked behind the second half, just like any other gacha game. So again, I understand his perspective, but I don't think he's looking at it in a casual perspective or even as a whole of a full patch. So that was my interpretation of this. The majority does not. It doesn't even play every day. Well, I don't know why everyone thinks the majority has abundance of primos for those characters. I agree with you. I saved 48,000 asteroid for this Woo patch. I have only 14,000 left, and that's fine. But so Murder, you and me, we're not the normal gacha players, right? You, me, Osteo, We're not the normal gacha players. Accounts. Oh yeah, it could definitely get you banned. Both right in different situations. Exactly. Seka was disagreeing. To the wrong point. Essentially, they were arguing two different things. Exactly. But exactly. They're both disagreeing to two different things. But no matter how much you spend, it doesn't change the price tag though. Exactly. You still, if you are super unlucky, have to spend a maximum of $325 to guarantee a character. And so this point that he is making, while it's not 100% wrong, it doesn't really 100%, it's not 100% accurate either. And again, it is going off of wild thoughts that everyone is going in the way he is going in or his chat is going in. If Seka is averaging 1,000 viewers and 800 of his viewers are tryhards that save up a bunch of currency, that is his majority, but that is not the majority of the whole category or all of the player base. And I think it is something that I like to do. And again, I'm not saying this about Seka. I don't fucking know the guy personally. I try to take myself out of the situation, look from a casual perspective, and I think this is a situation where he's not looking from a casual perspective, genuinely. I think he's looking from a very hardcore player perspective, like Murder, having 55,000 asteroids saved. Most people don't even have 10,000 asteroids saved. You know what I'm saying? Someone who logs into the game just to pull every day, I know it's casual, that's as Miguel playing HSR. Even Tectone has slaves to play his game. Exactly, yeah.
No, so you would have to get 0 free currency, not play the game at all, and then buy the character straight out.
Well,
right?
Well, that's not true. Because if you're a new character, you can use that currency on things that aren't the new banner.
Yeah.
So for a lot of players, they will have absolutely 0 because they could be pulling on the standard to get the convene wishes where you get the 5-star character. They could be pulling on anything else.
Okay, what are they pulling?
I got you in a moment.
Well, for a lot of players, you have to do the initial 50 pulls in the standard banner. There are some people who are dumb and don't know about the save the money for the premium banner. There could also be people who just went into that new patch, failing the 50-50 and losing all their fucking primo gems. A lot of people just don't have all of that currency immediately.
Okay, so your math is wildly incorrect because
and they could also
and again, this is a massive assumption, a jump, at least in my interpretation. Again, he's thinking that people are like that. It's crazy.
Huh?
They could also be using it on refreshes.
Okay. The math for the primos doesn't come out that way. It only comes out that way if you make it come out that way in the most convoluted manner.
It's only the segments. It's only the segments we're looking at, Ravel.
Maximum. That's
So the actual reality is that it will never reach that in Genshin, Star Rail, Wuo, anything like that.
That's not true. It's physically not true.
What do you mean?
Okay, so I need you to listen. The math is the max.
Peko defending this with his feeling and experience on the game. It's not based on numbers or facts, which most Hoyo players are tuned to think the way. Min-maxing promos. Exactly, yeah. It is strictly him defending on his experience and his chat and his try-hard circle. So, yeah, that is why the fact of the matter is that you can make... you can have 0 primo gems and spend up to $325. You don't have to. You can maybe only spend $10 and get it lucky. But also, we're not even taking into account the weapon banner, right? The weapon banner is a completely different situation, especially for Genshin or Hoyo games, right? So he's saying if I go in with 10,000 primos and I only need to buy maybe 4,000, that's only $50 or $60 as opposed to spending 300, which that's not 50 or 60. It's actually more. I think it's 100, right? It's just a weird conversation that I feel like he just... In his mind, he's, again, only looking at his experience, The thing knows that not all areas have the same primogens available for expiration. Mondstadt and Leeway have significantly less primos per chest than later areas. 1,000% Clarissa. 1,000. Oh, I didn't mean to time you out. Oh, can we untime out Clarissa? Oh, my God. Bro, I just timed out Clarissa. Wait, Clarissa, are you still here? Bro, there's no shot I just did that. Ah! I need an adult. I thought I timed you out for a second. That's my bad. Yo, what's good, Fred? How you feel, brother? Welcome in, man. Yeah, Clarissa, don't you fucking dare try to support my argument, okay? Don't you dare. I need an adult. Not my streamer. We need a trusted adult. Justice for Clarissa, brother. Justice for Clarissa. 07, my bad. 07. Don't you dare try to support me again. Fuck that. Yell at me. Yeah, no, my bad, Clarissa. But yeah, exactly. So yeah, exactly.
It can cost.
Not our Ethan.
Right. And $300 assures you enough primo gems to fail the 50-50 and go to pity twice.
Yeah.
There's no error in that math.
Yes, there.
Damn's coming in clutch. I saved all through last patch. I still had to spend high pity with and lost Mauvika, so it can absolutely vary. He's talking from a pure mathematical spot that there's no genuine. Every situation is different. Honestly, it's the same thing as theory crafting. Why I think theory crafting is fucking stupid, because there's no concrete way to make every experience the same and every player the same. And so realistically, it is just simply something that like he's sitting here and going hard body for it. It's not accurate. It's just not accurate. Everyone's like that, you know. I went into 2.0 with a couple thousand asteroid. I had to spend like $200 to get Carlotta on her weapon. I had to spend 200. You know what I'm saying? This guy falsely added crimes, I know. So I totally agree with you speaking from feelings, which is cool and all, but it's not that simple. Yeah, it's not. Your feelings are not the baseline. Also, hello, Emily. How are you? Beautiful. I love you. I hope you have a good day. Mwah. Everyone say hi to Emily. Emily, give like 30 minutes an hour at most. 30 minutes or an hour at most. It's not the baseline, and that is the problem when you are thinking that that is the baseline and your logic is 1000% how it works, because that is not how it works. Could that be the circumstance? Yes, sure, of course. But that is not everybody's circumstance. That is not Damn's circumstance. That is not my circumstance. Emily went on to Wuwa and got Carlotta and the weapon and maybe less than 50 free pulls. I fucking wish, but... So everyone's different. Everyone is different. So to say concrete, hard evidence, this is factually incorrect and the math doesn't support it. No, the math doesn't support it in A, B, and C, but C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P is showing something completely different. So... I mean, the math doesn't lie. He's arguing that it's not possible. He's arguing that it's not possible to start with 0 pulls and win early or something, but Tectone is purely stating $300 at the cost from 0 bid to guarantee, which is a fact. They're both arguing semantics. Yeah, well, I think he's arguing just situations that are not normal, you know? So, yeah, it's pretty stupid. Why don't they just meet in the middle and assume 100 pulls for a character that's 40 more? Yeah, I don't know. It's fucking stupid. It's fucking dumb. I think it's stupid.
You are generating
it's fun to watch.
Revenue, which is your point of view, right? Throughout the entirety of the patch that you're playing for the 3 weeks. So you are getting Primogens, you're getting Jade, whatever,
goddamn,
for
brother.
that time frame. Okay,
so
the only way
how
it's
are you
true
not
is on
understanding?
day one of the banner, because they want to rush it if you wanted to get all your stuff right away.
No, how are you not understanding? What if you pull another one when you have zero? If you have zero, let's say you pull another one. The max it can cost you, if this is just math, the max it can cost you to get a character is $300.
And then that's if you spent no money before. If you spent, this is someone who gets every character, right?
Okay.
So I understand what you're saying, but if you're getting every character,
yeah,
that
bro,
math is true.
It's rough.
If you're getting one character ever, that's wildly incorrect.
It's still not.
Dollar,
I don't know
the dollar amount.
That's only true if you get every single character, though.
It's not. That's not
no,
true.
This is true for any character.
It's insane.
The dollar amount it can cost you to assure that you get one character, which is going 180 pulls, is going to net you roughly $300.
That's not the point. I know.
I'm saying that's the worst it can be. Now, it can be better with the currency that you earn.
For many reasons, that's untrue. But I understand what your point of view is.
I just want to watch it because he crashes out. It's funny.
I can break it down for you if you really want to, like, start later. I can break it down to whatever the currency is in Wuha. There's other parts of that.
Yo, look at Azoma's
go ahead. Please
face.
explain it.
Okay,
look at Azoma's face in Pokey.
A player that just there's two types of players. One that's going to be just.
Mr. Pokey said just any kind of moderate with these stalemates. He's always in the Gotcha cast, bro. No, Pokey's enjoying this. And yo, look at A. Thomas, brother. Yeah. I'm trying to understand what Tectone is saying, and what about Tectone is saying is untrue. They're both just Sekapogo's arguing his feelings, and Tectone's telling you, brother, not everyone is doing that. But I think Seka, like, just because Seka is a hardcore player and he gets every single character, that is not the norm. That is not the standard of what people do. So it's not relatable. It's just not relatable. It isn't. And then the argument that he has 3 accounts, one completely free to play, one that he wails on, and one that's a little bit of a battle pass on Welkin, is still not relatable because you don't play like a normal person. That's not a bad thing. You're a professional at Genshin Impact. That's not even a shot. Like, the guys are professional at Genshin Impact. So, but there's a disconnect between that and 59 other million people, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying this with confidence, like, Pasta can be right. Yeah, exactly. And again, I'm not trying to shit on him, because, again, I like Sekapoko, but this is just one of those things I was like, holy fucking Lord. Like, brother, this ain't it.
has nothing, no resources whatsoever. The first thing is you have the first time top up bonuses right there, right? So in that situation, if you
exactly, Jay. Also was good, brother.
With the first time top up bonuses, the maximum you can spend is not $300.
Okay, do you understand? Right? I said the max. So the top up bonus would not be applied for the max. I'm saying the worst possible scenario.
Yes, and I'm trying to get to that point.
Look at Jenna.
But talking about the top up doesn't matter. That doesn't.
Okay, no, okay, so I'm going to the minimum cost for the maximum cost. Okay, so I understand what you're saying. If you had 0 primo gems, 0, right?
Yes.
And you had 0 pity.
Yes.
Right? You got no primo gems, nothing else throughout the entire patch. Literally got nothing. Then it would be $300.
I bet that's all I'm saying. That is the only thing that I was saying.
If you not play the game and just swiped, then it's $300.
Yeah, that is everything I said.
The hypothetical that he's saying is the maximum amount of money.
The reality is the max is not even close to that amount, though.
Well, no, that's what the definition of maximum is, though. Like,
yes, and there are people who will log onto the game,
but the
not play
that's
it,
the
get the new
actual
character, and log off.
for a realistic situation where you don't even play the game, you're just swiping only for characters and not playing.
Sure, it's not realistic.
Like that's just an unrealistic perspective
that's
to even
cap.
talk about.
That's cap.
Yeah, but that's not the point, though.
But no, there are tons of players.
The framing on it is the point.
No.
So if you did that in Genshin, Wuthering Waves, Star Rail, any game of the
Bro, that's the thing. I don't think Seka realizes how the average person barely even explores. Yeah, Seka has like legitimate exploration teams outside of Natlan. And a lot of streamers do that I bring up all the time that I think in itself that's already predatory. It's if I say it louder, maybe they'll believe I'm right. Yeah, just better. Yeah, yeah. Both arguments are stupid. Who's good, Para? How you feeling, brother? Can we get a fast shout out for Para? Everyone go follow Para. Para's gonna be the next check mark here, okay? And then once the other Ethan has it, we're chilling. Both arguments are stupid. Well, I think it's just pretty straightforward. I think it's saying, hey, if you have 0 primo gems, it's going to cost you $300 to get the character. And Seka is assuming everyone and their mom plays the game. I'll never be a Checky. Para, you shut the fuck up right now. I'm calling Dan. No, I think it's just the fact that they're arguing over it is stupid. But I think the point is that Seka is just not looking from the casual perspective. He is not the casual player. He is not the relatable player, even on his free-to-play account. No casual player 100%'s the game. You are not the definition of a casual if you're going into a patch with 20,000 primos from 100% exploring Natlan. That's not a casual player. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just fucking it's stupid. But yeah, Perry will absolutely get fucking partner. But yeah, the base is 300, not including weapon. I think it's pretty simple. You know what I'm saying? I think it's pretty simple.
You're saying, by the way, you spend $3 for the characters.
He's not wrong.
No one does that.
Sek is not wrong either.
Okay, that's wrong. I live with 3 of them.
Yeah,
and
no one does
also
that.
Do
That's what I'm saying.
If I play a game and I see a new character that comes out and I don't want to play the game, there are instances where I have logged on,
100% spirit,
spent money, got the character, logged off. I did that for Nikkei. For not Red Hood, but maybe it was like Soda. My roommate Leroux did that for Raid and Shogun, where you log in, you don't play the game, you just want to whale, get the character, and log
Yo,
off.
my man, Saint's out here eating a piece of pizza.
That's why I said it's the max.
Pizza.
The absolute max.
Yes.
That you would ever have to pay for a
Right.
character.
He sounds so disappointed that he has to admit that.
Let's move on.
Anyways,
I
forgot the initial topic.
He sounds so disappointed about that.
Yeah, 5.3 thoughts on 5.3 in the future of Genshin.
That was my favorite topic so far.
It was good.
Yeah. Okay. When it comes to 5.3, the content for the game, if you haven't played the game in a while, is large. If you have played the game a lot and you are a person that's perpetually playing the game, it's extremely
You lose unless you're CC?
small.
True.
There is nothing to do besides the characters on the release of the patch if you play it. I think everybody who's played the game knows that if there's no new region, there's no new area, there's nothing to do in Genshin at all besides playing the new characters in new ways.
Yo, check. Can somebody link the suicide hotline number in chat? Because for Genshin players, it sounds rough right now.
So if you're a Genshin person that's been playing for a very long time, there's nothing to do currently if you all have done everything in 5.
I feel like we got to the...
That's big.
I think we got to the basis of this whole video.
So what is actually going on with, if Shizanaya is being pushed back, what is the next zone?
Okay, wait, this I want to hear, and then we'll move on.
The next zone is called Nod Cry. it is a region. I can't literally talk about this region without spoiling the story.
Okay.
But essentially, it's a region in between Snezhnaya and one of the others. I can't remember that.
If they do a middle region, I don't think that could be bad. I'll be honest. I think a region in the middle and unlocking other parts of the maps that are completely fucking that are completely just blacked out right now, like I think that's fine. I think it sucks you're not going to Snezhnaya, but I feel like that could 100% be okay. I mean, I'm not going to give the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure they're going to do it in a shitty way, like for sure. I don't think they're going to do it in a positive way. But like the idea of it itself is not intrinsically horrendous, you know? I mean, that's what Enka was, isn't it? Yeah, like I don't think that's like a horrible thing. I think this would be the first time we're going a year. This is the first time going a year without a new region. But yeah, I think that it's we'll see what happens, you know. We'll see. I think we are getting a year-long filler episode of Genshin Impact. I think we kind of drive this podcast home. Overall, I thought it was interesting. Our recording is 2 hours long. Yeah, I think it was a good podcast. I think overall good stuff. Again, I fucked with Sekapoko. I fuck with everyone here except Athamas. Athamas is a piece of shit, and Glaive said I can't spell guarantee, so fuck Glaive as well. But other than that, they're all good people, except Athamas, of course. Yeah, so W's in the chat, man. I think that was valid.